Good evening, everybody. Welcome to a very special edition of the Jiminy Flip It Chat Show. I got to take a swig of water. I've been talking for a half hour already. Hope everybody is doing well. Welcome aboard. You picked a great night to come on in. I have an all-star cast here. We have 8 guests tonight. That's right, 8 guests. Everybody's going to be discussing the event of the century here on Whatnot. Paperpalooza taking place this weekend, 12 hours. Basically, both days, over 20 sellers. About half of them are here with me tonight, so it's going to be a great time. Just want to say hi to a couple of people. What we're going to do, we were just talking about this. The screen's going to look really full in a couple of minutes, everybody. So I think we're going to bring in the guests one by one, just really quickly, so you could kind of take it all in. And then I'm going to give everybody a moment or so to say hi to the group, introduce themselves, and talk about the event. So let me just say hi to everybody. Hey, this is, Popeye's here. We have the guests saying hi to everybody. Cool. Hey, Dawn, welcome. One gal's treasure for you. How you doing? Welcome aboard. See the lights. Hello. Good evening. Yeah, Dawn, I think might have even stayed up for this event, Kelly, shockingly. Hey, Cameron. Cameron wrote early on. He was looking to be on this show tonight, but unfortunately had to, it was a little early for him. He was still at the day job. So, again, thank you, everybody. We have a lot to get to, a lot of guests. Rose Squirrel, how you doing? Good to see you. Happy Thursday. Yeah, it's a strange night for me, but hopefully it goes well. Hey, Karen, how you doing? Just don't want to miss anybody on the onset. Rocky Mountain Vintage Collectibles, hello. How are you? All right. Calamity Photo, how are you? Good to see you. Hey, Sarah, welcome. Welcome. Travis, one of my point men here. Good to see you. Yeah. Yes, we are going to have Rose Squirrel will be a guest here with Travis and I in a couple of weeks on the 29th. We have her signed and contracted. So we'll be talking a lot more about that in coming weeks. Hey, Barbara, how you doing? Sold Seattle World's Fair. Oh, did you really? Congratulations. Yes, Travis looked that up for you, right? Hey, Lori, how you doing? Welcome. Postcards and more. Laura, how you doing? Welcome aboard. A lot of postcard people probably going to be here tonight, which is great. Welcome to everybody. All right, I'm going to be saying hi for an hour here. Without any further ado, and in no specific order, let me start bringing in some of these fine folks that are joining us. Again, this is all for the cause of Paperpalooza coming up this weekend. Everybody you're going to see tonight is doing their own auction. We've all agreed that we're going to do our, maybe Popeye might be the exception because he's closing out, but everybody's agreed to do a 1-hour auction. It's going to be consecutive, bam, 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 both days, Saturday and Sunday, about 12 hours each. So who should we bring in first? I said every one of them has to, no, I didn't want to give out any information about who I was going to bring on first. So let's see. Who are we going to pick? All right, we'll go Popeye. Let's go Popeye since it was his idea. Welcome to the show, Popeye. How you doing?
Good, Marty. How are you doing? And everybody in the chat?
Doing wonderful. Thank you for joining us tonight. Popeye has relatively limited time compared to everybody else. We wanted to make sure he came on and said hi. And you know what? Just before we bring everybody on, again, welcome, John. Just why don't you give everybody a kind of a high-level overview of what's going on this weekend? What was the thought behind doing something like this? Where'd you come up with it?
Well, it was purely out of spite.
It's always a good start.
No, I know they came up with that. What was it? Estate extravaganza.
Yeah.
And I'd been on Whatnot for a month or so. I was like, how come you didn't invite Popeye? I mean, I'm not. I'm not vain or anything like that, but there was zero that I'm aware of. I think Luke with Bastiques was the only one who had any type of ephemera dealings. And I was like, well, heck, we're going to be a big part of this estate category. See, they've since busted out just ephemera and postcards into their own category. So I think it was going to be pretty big. And I was like, how come we weren't invited?
Yeah.
So I was like, you know what? I have an idea. Let's do our own. There are enough postcard ephemera dealers. And my first list, I don't have it here, but I had come up with 24 people right off the bat who I knew were postcard ephemera dealers on Whatnot. And I was like, I think we could do this. Same thing, 1-hour slot. And so that's where the ball started rolling. The ball started rolling. Started reaching out. I think Ben was one of the first people, and then I just started, hey, let's snowball it. And we still had, I think we have 22 dealers right now.
Yep.
And we've had 3 or 4 or 5 just say that they couldn't do it. So yeah, there could be a what is it, Paperpalooza 2, but I think someone else would have to plan. And that it's the planning of all this has been interesting. But yeah, that's what all this started. I think truthfully, I know what I'm doing on Whatnot. And I think everybody, all the other sellers are doing terrific.
Mm-hmm.
I think it might be postcards and ephemera with a subcategory of the other estate people, because I think we're doing really, really good. So anyway, that's where this all started from. Just an idea to really promote postcards and ephemera on Whatnot, because it's been game changing for me. It's changed my whole business model, and I'm switching to everything on Whatnot. So that's pretty much why this all came about.
Fantastic. And I really appreciate it. And so does everybody else that's involved in it. It really came together relatively quickly, if you think about it, from the germ of an idea to this happening. It's
in a month. And
not
truthfully, it's been relatively painless. You always have those anytime you plan something. I planned conferences for 200 probation officers from several states and jurisdictions and stuff like. So it's a lot more. That was a lot more pain in the butt, but this is long and short, it's been kind of relatively painless. You just got those last minute changes with other dealers having to replace others that have some issue going on and couldn't participate any longer.
Yeah, but it's good to see there was a line of people behind them, like you said. So we could have had well over 30, I would imagine.
Yeah,
right?
I think so. Yeah.
All right. Well, again, thanks so much for joining, John, and great idea, and hopefully we all make you proud. And
and Ben, new to you provisions. He's I know this would not have gotten anywhere if Ben, hasn't been stepping up. So he's
without question.
I'm the idea man, and Ben is like the action guy, which
the executor.
is awesome. Yeah, he makes everybody look good.
Well, talk about a segue, ladies and gentlemen. Without any further ado, I made that decision easy. New to you provisions, Benny. How you doing, Benny?
Uh-oh.
Yeah. I think you're muted, Ben.
There we go.
There we go. Welcome.
I said, I'm glad this is being recorded so that everybody could hear John giving me the credit for all of this, But really, it was his idea. I think he came almost directly to me with it and said, why the hell were we involved in the estate sale thing? And,
Spite.
Yeah. And I was like, I was kind of wondering the same thing. And then I was like, I kind of blew it off. And then you were like, let's do our own thing. And I was like, all right, well, let's go. Giddy up. So here we are.
Here we are. And you've done tons of work behind the scenes that, the viewers probably aren't aware of. But again, thanks so much for all you've done, including that groovy looking banner that's behind us. I don't know if you can make it out anymore, but that was Ben's creation after trying to deal with Whatnot, especially John. Dealing with Whatnot, trying to get some graphics has been challenging, to say the least. But
John's been kind of our liaison between the group and Whatnot. And I haven't spoken to Whatnot directly at all. So John was instrumental with that, with the communication part with them, and really helpful. We were walking hand in hand through this little journey here. So
and you've done all the coordinating with the other members. So again, a lot of appreciation towards you, and hopefully you'll do really well. Hopefully all of us will do really well. And like John alluded to, it's really to bring attention to the community as a whole over there on Whatnot. That's kind of the ultimate goal, to show, the respect that we're all due, and to compete with some of those other categories that are really doing well out there. So I think this will be a great event and help that. So let's, again, thank you, Ben. Welcome. We're going to bring on, I'm just going to go in reverse order from how I had it. Next is.
And hopefully we get other people coming to Whatnot.
Exactly. Attract new people. Yeah. Without question. All right, ladies and gentlemen, our third guest here was a guest with Travis and I on a chat show a couple of months back from the legendary $1 Million Peddlers.
I'm Paper Guy.
Here he is. How you doing?
Doing well. Really excited to be part of this. I think probably the most exciting thing about the whole Paperpalooza is I know you've all seen my show on Whatnot. And I do it the way that I do it, and everybody has their own way of doing it. So it's going to be interesting for me to see how other people do their shows. Like mine are all cataloged, $3 start, 30-second auctions. And that's just the way that I do that all the time. And then I do a last call at the end where anything that didn't sell, I bring back up by request for people. And that's how I do it. And I kind of want to see how other people do it as well. And maybe people will steal some ideas from me, and I can steal what we call them best practices in the corporate world. And I can steal some ideas from them as well. So really looking forward to it. Very much so. And I know you do a myriad of items, right? You don't just do one. You do ephemera, but you do some other items as well, or is it mostly ephemera? Thursdays at 4:00, I have $5 starts on my comic auctions and 30-second auctions, and then Tuesday I have ephemera. A little bit of everything. I got snapshots over there, road maps, just kind of a little bit of everything. And I know you had commented on one of your live shows before that you like my philosophy. And for the most part, my philosophy is I sell things that I don't want to learn, but I know when I'm out that they're good enough to pick up and sell. So you can get some really good bargains off of me because I'm not going to learn road maps. I've gone this long without learning them. So I'll just sell them. And, if I'm paying 20 cents a piece for them and getting $1 a piece for them, hey, I did good. And if you're getting a $100 roadmap off me, you did good. So we're all happy. Absolutely. Yeah, I do like that approach a lot. Okay. Yeah, I was just checking out a chat message. Well, welcome aboard, Dave. It's good to have you. And thanks for having me. Oh, it's a pleasure. All righty. Although I haven't been invited back. Well, you're on now. I don't think I ever got an invitation on your show. I mean, I might be mistaken, but not to bring anything like that up. But anyway. I probably wouldn't spam. Have you ever had any guests? Just Dan Fogel, the Underground Comic Book. Oh, that's right. Yes. Yep, that was it. All right. Well, we don't rate everybody, so don't worry about it. All right. Next up will be another postcard person. What do you know? Welcome aboard. Welcome to the show.
There I am.
There you are. Say hi to the folks.
Hi, everyone. Mark from SM Postcards. So what I can say about Paperpalooza, I'm glad I'm a part of it. Mm-hmm. I'm glad John let me, but he would let anybody. He's such a nice guy. And but no, this is a great. I wanted to be a part of Whatnot. In the beginning, Whatnot was like, oh, that's for me. I don't want to be on a schedule. But now it's becoming a place for postcards and ephemera and other things. So people are migrating to it, and I'm there. So on Saturday there's 12 sellers, and Sunday there's 12 sellers. So spend a lot of money on Saturday, then go to fill your card back up for Sunday. Mm-hmm. On there. A lot of great deals. I know I got some stuff in my thing. I got 25 Navy ship photos. These are real photographs that I sell for $9 a piece. They're starting at $1. Wow. So, but everybody subscribe to Marty too. He's been a big help with this. And John, Popeye Postcards. Dave's got a channel. Anybody else has got a channel. Support the YouTubers because we're getting a lot of good stuff out there as well. But appreciate everybody coming tonight. Yeah, I appreciate that, Mark. And I do have links to everybody who supplied a link to me. I think everybody did. Everybody that's in the chat tonight, you can check out their links below in the description. So welcome aboard, Mark. Great to have you. I just want to see if we're missing anything in the chat. If anybody sees any, we're doing introductions still, but we have so many people to introduce, it might take an hour to finish it. If anybody has any questions for anybody here on the panel, please feel free to put them in the comments. And I promise I will eventually get down to them and we'll hopefully have some good answers for you. All right, up next is, and I love this because I don't know who's going to be next, so I just add somebody and see how quick they are. Ready? Who's next? Nope.
Hey, everyone.
Stuart, how you doing?
Hey, I'm doing great. Appreciate you having me on. This is going to be fun. Can't wait for Paperpalooza.
Yeah.
Thanks to John and Ben for putting all this together and for thinking of a non-postcard guy to invite. I mean, I've sold a few postcards, but that's definitely not my main category I sell in. So
we'll get you there soon.
Well, I did a postcard show yesterday and it was fun. So, I think I said it in the Facebook group. My challenge with postcards is I'm used to being in front of the camera and just seeing my hands. I did one postcard show that way, and I said, hey, I'm going to be in front of the camera regardless of, covering up my face with postcards. But
there you go.
But I will actually I will not be doing postcards on Sunday, so I'll be doing something else.
Excellent. As will I. I think we're the outliers. Most everybody here, and Paperboy, I think, as well, is not exclusively doing postcards. That's for sure. But welcome aboard. Great to have you, Stuart.
Cameron, your cards are on the way. They are in the mail today.
There you go. All right, welcome. All right, who's next? I love this. It's kind of fun. We're going to bring on, just to offer some balance to this group. Welcome, Lillian. How are you?
Hi. Thanks for having me.
It's a pleasure.
Hi. So, thank you guys for having me on. It's my first time on the YouTube channel as well. So, like Luke and a couple other ones, but I'm really happy to be on Paperpalooza. I've only been on Whatnot for a couple of months. I've been following a lot of you guys, and I do a little bit of postcards, but also a lot of different ephemera, antique auto books and cards and photos. So it's going to be a little mix. I'm on Saturday, at 5:00. And again, thank you guys for having me on this group. It's been an amazing group of people. And basically we've had other platforms that we're on eBay since 2010, and that's One Gal's Treasures for You. But I really like the platform on Whatnot. It's faster, you move merchandise faster, and you get to meet a really great group of people on here.
Without question. Do you sell anything specifically, or are you kind of all over the board? Do you sell different types of stuff?
On Fridays, I specifically stick to ephemera, and then I do other shows throughout the week. Just different, some glass and some other pop-ups and stuff, but mostly ephemera is my go-to.
Very good.
Yeah.
Well, you're in good company, and you're part of a fantastic event. So welcome, Lillian. Great to have you.
Thank you. Appreciate
you already got through the introduction. See, that's the hardest part. It's all downhill now.
Thanks, guys.
But now I could see the sweat on the final two contestants here. It's not contestants. The final two guests. Who will it be? All right. No pressure. Ladies and gentlemen, for the first time ever on YouTube.
Hi, everyone. I'm Brew. This is Luke. We're Bastiques. Thanks for having us tonight. So we've been selling on Whatnot for about 6 months. We did eBay many years before that. Excited to be part of the Paperpalooza. Typically, Luke does the ephemera auctions on Wednesday at 8. And then we've also been doing collectibles Monday, usually around 9 o'clock. And then some pop-up auctions throughout the week. And Saturday for the Paperpalooza will be on at 11 a.m.
Very good. That kicks it off, right? Is that kicking off? You're the first one? All right. No pressure there. So your first YouTube appearance, and you're the first one out of the gate on Paperpalooza. Holy cow. Well, it's great to have you guys both. Welcome to the show. Welcome to the community. And really excited. And finally, again, this wasn't in any specific order other than John. John was first because it was his brainchild, and Ben was second because he's the minion. But outside of that, everybody else was randomly pulled off. I'm like, he's like, what's going on? Finally, ladies and gentlemen, and this was the not unfortunately, but we didn't get to do a thumbnail of this gentleman because he chimed in after we had already announced the show, but we still had another spot, so I'm happy to have him on board. Here he comes. Say hi to everybody.
Hi.
Hi, Andrew. How you doing?
I wasn't expecting how it'd be called. Bad joke. Hi, I'm Andrew. Anna is not here right now, but she, my wife, works with me. We're in Vintage Color on Whatnot and eBay and YouTube, I guess, and Instagram. But
Cool.
Anyway, yeah, we don't primarily sell ephemera, but I really like to. We've been selling a lot of ephemera on Whatnot, and I really just love history and old things. So, but before Whatnot, we were primarily selling like antique china and porcelain and things like that on eBay, and some clothes and stuff like designer clothes. But yeah, I've been getting really into the ephemera. And, not doing postcards, but we'll be doing other kind of stuff. I don't know if we're all gonna like show a special item for the show, but yeah.
You're welcome to. Sure, if you want to.
I don't know. I mean, I can do it later, but
Okay.
or I don't know. Yeah, but anyway, we're on Sunday at 9 p.m. So
Very good. Congratulations and welcome aboard. All right, guys. Well, there's the all-star team here. We have all Well, aside from me, we have 8 ringers in this room. And again, we open the floor to questions, to comments, to praise, to criticism, whatever you got. Tracy, it's great to see you, by the way. I haven't seen Tracy in a bit, so I'm glad you made the show tonight. John was kind enough to answer the one question. I think Kristen had a question about leather postcards, John, and you said that, yes, they sell very well.
Yeah, I did answer that.
Cool.
It's the same rules as regular paper postcards. The scenic ones from certain towns will do better than generic humor comic ones. That some will be colored. Most of them are going to be marked at a video on this. Most are pretty much pre-1908. And if you ever find them with holes around the edges, they use those and they stitched them together and made pillows and blankets. That was the thing to do back then. So, and those holes don't affect the value, and they can be run through a top load scanner. It may stretch them out a little bit, but it definitely can be done.
I have seen some pretty pricey ones out there, and like John said, I've had some, but I think I just had the regular ones. I didn't have the fancier ones, but sky's the limit. They collect everything.
I was going to put one in the Paperpalooza.
Wait, really?
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, they don't. For me on eBay, and I've done several lots of them on Whatnot. I sell through pretty quickly. They're a good seller.
Excellent.
I've always had good luck with them too.
Yeah. I never knew about the holes in the card. See? Fountain of knowledge is Popeye. It's a rare opportunity to get everybody here in one room. I'm really thrilled that everybody agreed to join me tonight. Again, questions out there? I'm just trying to keep up with the chat. Appreciate everybody. Yeah, go ahead.
I'm sorry. I just some of the people in the chat may not be aware, but the 7:00 p.m. Eastern time on Saturday, Picker John is now in that spot. I think he's the 4th person. I don't know if that spot is. No, hopefully it's not Picker John if he's in here, but it seems like that spot may be cursed. But I hope not. But yeah, we had some sellers had to back out. So Picker John.
I think he's our third person in that spot, I think. Now.
Wow.
4th. Because we originally had Vintage Photo Guy, and then Junker Misty, and then Banger. Yeah. And now Picker John.
Yeah.
Wow.
I hope Picker John can make it. But I was just looking at the Whatnots. Everybody, everybody's in around the 40s or 50s or so with bookmarks. That's pretty good.
Outstanding. Absolutely. I was going to mention that, John. And it's all, again, thanks to everybody here. And you're right.
I got more bookmarks than I do followers.
Yeah, I just looked. I have 55, which shatters all previous records for mine. So I'm
now, what Whatnot said is that number is the one you want up there as a seller. Is your followers and the bookmark. Because they'll do something, the algorithm, or it'll push a little bit more. I don't know. I just read it somewhere.
Yeah, they may make you like a featured
or show. Trending, right? Don't they have like trending? Yeah.
So I'll beat out Post Malone next week.
Yeah. Well, thankfully he's on what, 3rd? He's tonight, isn't he?
He's on tonight at 8.
Yeah,
he's tonight. Yeah.
And if anybody doesn't know, Post Malone crashed the Whatnot servers
last week. Yeah, I was live when he did it. So that was fun. I was doing a video game auction.
That's cool. Any competition?
I think I'm only 50,000 away from getting up to Post Malone bookmarks on this show. I mean, it's my highest ever, but I'm riding his tail.
Yeah, they both start with a 5 anyway. Right?
well, hopefully
500,050.
The representative that I've been speaking to with Whatnot, Lydia, she's come into my chat, my lives a couple times. She said that she's gonna work on getting it at least into their Instagram feed, because I know they do a lot with Instagram, probably more than they do any other platform. I'm not sure if they're on TikTok or if they're just Instagram or wherever. So hopefully Paperpalooza graphics will be blasted on Instagram. So who knows? Maybe our bookmarks will keep going up. That would be nice.
Absolutely. We still have a couple of days. And I just wanted to go ahead. I'm sorry. No, I was just going to say about Whatnot as a whole, because John was saying about the Instagram marketing and stuff. I must say that Ben and I were talking last night, because I had a little bit of an issue with the auction that I had up, it had a black screen. You know, everybody usually has like a photo or a preview video when you go on Whatnot, right? I have a preview video, which works fine when you click on my show, but the show itself was just basically a black screen. I'm like, what's going on? So Ben said, reach out to them. They're really responsive. Inside of 10 minutes, I had an email back, and we went back and forth. It took a little while to work out, but kudos to them again for fantastic support. And I really think it's a great platform. I'm sure they're slightly overwhelmed by the success, and all things considered, I think they're doing amazing work, when it comes to the back end stuff, and they definitely know how to treat people well. So kudos to them again. I just wanted to say that in case they happen upon this video at any point. I really appreciated that, because we're in panic mode here. We're like 2 days out, and I'm like, why is my screen black? And bam, they fixed it right away. So really, really pleasant, because it's not always that way with other platforms, let's just say.
Yeah, I was thinking about, because I know for the extravaganza, and Luke and Bree can probably attest to it, that I think didn't Whatnot do the graphics for your individual shows, or am I kind of mistaken on that? Maybe put the giveaways in the thumbnail. I kind of like that it's our own individual photos on there, and I went back and forth. I knew for me, what was I going to use? Because I've done the videos and stuff like that, and I think now I like my Popeye. That's a cast iron bank as I use as like my mascot. I kind of like that because it's like my Whatnot identity.
Yep.
Now, so I don't know if
brand
that maybe Whatnot brandized, if that's even a word.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of like that it's our own individual things now.
Yeah. Sorry, I used I'm forever known with my friends, families, and everyone as Penguin Boss. So I just keep my penguins and the little ones that my nephew gave me. So it just seems to work for me. So
yeah.
I when I first started Whatnot, on the onboarding they were like, yeah, use the videos for your previews and all that stuff with the auctions. But I made the decision pretty early on to do just what John was talking about, is put up a logo of some sort so that it's instantly identifiable when the buyer is scrolling through all the shows that are available. They know that yours is there.
Absolutely.
If they're familiar with you, they're going to know that that's your show. So I was talking to Marty about that when he was having his photo issue, and when I do preview videos, which isn't very often, because usually I'm doing lots of postcards or other ephemera. It doesn't make sense to film it all just for me. But when I do a video, I always put a photo of my logo at the very beginning. So for when I'm editing the video for it, put it on for 1/10 of a second so that shows up first and not my actual video, so that my logo is out there every single time.
And that's exactly the advice that Whatnot gave to me in the email. They said that's the way around it. Yeah, start like the first 10 seconds of your video with your logo, whatever, and that's what they'll feature on that. So that's good advice for sure.
I wonder, is there anybody in the chat that has not been on Whatnot yet?
Ooh, that's a great question.
I'd like
Speak
to know.
now, folks. Speak now. Michelle had a question. Said, "You guys loading lots of buy it nows? I think I already have too much for my 1 hour. Think going to add some tonight." Does anybody have any buy it nows up there?
I have buy it nows in my first show.
Do you?
Yeah, I mostly have the Matthew Kirsch cards, but I may do this for future, just because I still have 1.4 million cards in the house. I may do preloaded, I think, Ben, do you have mystery packs? Maybe that's mystery packs of matchbooks, but I was going to do 150, I don't know, just mixed postcards they usually sell for me in lots 25 to 30 cents per card average. So I may do that I have 100 and some odd cards as a buy it now. That's just average. They sell for a quarter a card. So that's what you're going to get, just to blow them out and have 1,000 of them, because I could do 1,000 lots.
Wow.
Just keep carrying over the ones that didn't sell, and I'll just count on 1,000 or 100 cards, and away we go.
That's a good idea.
Yeah. So question for the chat. I know lots of people may be here for postcards, but is there anything in particular anybody out there in the chat's looking for? We've got 50 people in here in the show, and I'm sure some of us have some of the stuff you're looking for and can dig it up and add it to the show. I know, as mentioned, I'm not doing postcards. I'm doing mostly 1800s, early 1900s, handwritten letters, canceled checks, a lot of Odd Fellows stuff. So certainly a little different than the postcards.
Yeah, me as well. I'm not doing postcards. I think there was one other, and I also believe Paperboy is not doing postcards, or I know he's not doing them exclusively.
Five lots, yeah, 5 lots of postcards.
5 little lots, okay.
Which Popeyes will come in and buy off because I don't know what they're good. He'll buy them all.
Yeah, right. You have that 1 in a million.
So Barbara's looking for bill heads. I'm probably going to have some for my second show on Sunday.
Yeah, and I have some bill heads, Barbara. I'll have some 1800s bill heads in the show.
Awesome.
Oh yeah, well I have 1700s bill heads.
Got me beat, Dan.
I'll raise you 1700.
No,
I'm messing.
life's a competition.
Friendly competition.
Yeah, we're doing all 1800s trade cards on Saturday.
Oh yeah,
Mhm.
very cool.
Nice.
Hopefully everybody in the chat has had the opportunity to bookmark our shows. If you go into, hopefully I explain this correctly. If you go into the phone app, my understanding is it does not work on the website, but if you go into the phone app and search the word Paperpalooza, everybody here, along with the other 20 odd, whatever remaining sellers, 15 remaining sellers should all come up. All the shows should come up. So please, if you haven't done so already, just bookmark those, everybody's shows. So you can get a lot of love out there this weekend. I really can't wait for it. I'm getting more and more excited. The closer it gets, I'm getting more psyched. Like this is really like, this is kind of the kickoff in a way, getting everybody together like this. I'm very excited about it.
Yeah, and the potential buyers out there, I think most everybody already has stuff preloaded in the store.
Yep.
So you can go, bookmark if you're interested in one specific thing from one specific buyer or seller, bookmark that. And if you're out and about, have your notifications from Whatnot, turned on, and you'll get a little thing that says, hey, whatever you're interested in is being auctioned. And I know when I do my auctions, I'm very bad at pinning the item I'm talking about. So maybe that's a suggestion for all of us, is to pin our next item or pin the item that you're auctioning so people can have that notification. I'm horrible at that. I know other people are much better, but I think that's a good thing to do.
Without question, yes.
Well, another thing too is, and I've got a couple of buyers that do it all the time, which I definitely appreciate, because I catalog everything, which it sounds like everybody here is as well. They can certainly go through and pre-bid as well. All my things start at $3, so pre-bid, go for it.
Yeah, test out that little bid button. Those little buttons I got on there. Make sure they work for Saturday and Sunday.
Yeah. Weta, first of all, welcome, Weta. How you doing? You see, her question is, who is your target audience for Paperpalooza? Are you looking to sell to other collectors or targeting resellers to buy wholesale and list?
Yep,
exactly. Anybody who comes in.
Yeah,
I think it's safe to say a lot of people, the vast majority are probably other resellers. Would you all agree with that?
Mhm.
And looking for a deal, right? Looking to source.
They're either resellers or they are they're collectors that are
Yep.
in there buying lots of things so that they can weed out what they want to keep and then resell.
Yeah.
The rest.
Yeah.
Well, I think one of the goals of Paperpalooza, I mean, we all know on Whatnot right now, it's a lot of resellers. I mean, you're selling to, and I see more and more collectors starting to come in. But I think one of the main goals of this Paperpalooza is to start growing this to where there are more collectors out there.
Yep.
To where you're not just, have this circular economy that's, I'm selling to you, and then you're selling to him, and then I'm buying something from him, and
Exactly.
Our money just keeps changing hands. So
Very true.
And
10% leaves every time.
I'm sorry, Andrew, go ahead. I talked over you.
No, I was just saying that about 10% each exchange gets taken out from the circulation. So
Yeah.
What I started doing, since I still sell on eBay, haven't listed on eBay for about 4 months, but I started doing these little QRC codes with, hey, come visit my bulk postcard auctions on Whatnot, $10 off first purchase.
Nice.
So every envelope I send out for my eBay sales, they're getting this on the back. I don't know if it's worked or not. I haven't seen my referrals go up, but it's at least showing people, hey, what's Whatnot, and I can get $10. So hopefully more eBay collectors, dealers, buyers come over to Whatnot.
Absolutely. And you're definitely leading that charge, because just based on, you know, your you have a lot of followers and a lot of people that do business with you for all these years. So I think you're going to lead the charge for sure, John.
Yeah, just think if I didn't nuke that first channel that had 2,200 subscribers.
How did it feel to go back to zero? That must have been. How did that feel? It's tough, right?
Yeah, and I was never coming back. But truthfully, the reason, and I think I was very transparent about this in the beginning, I needed to get rid of, you know, at least 500,000 postcards. So I came back to YouTube with not the sole point, but the point of, so I could do YouTube auctions. And I went on Matt Jackass Retro, who's part of Paperpalooza too. And I went on his channel and I did just a couple lots, and I didn't like the selling mechanism. You know, I didn't want to be the one chasing down people for their money. I was selling to people. I was like, oh, make sure you send the money as business. I'll pay for the expenses because I can print a shipping label. So it was just all this coordination, and I didn't like it. And what I love about Whatnot, it's doing exactly what I wanted to do on YouTube without all the back end stuff. They take care of money. They get my shipping labels. It's just so easy. Yeah, they take a chunk, but I'm willing to give up that chunk to have all those administrative things taken care of. So yeah, but I don't know. Who knows? I could have had Auction Professor numbers, subscriber numbers if I stuck around, but I doubt it.
I wouldn't doubt that at all. Calamity, first and photo. Anybody have stereo views and antique photos? Paperboy, you got some photos?
There are some photos over here. Calamity buys from me all the time over on Whatnot. Cool. Very good customer. Thank you.
Yeah, and Calamity's part of the Paperpalooza too.
Wonderful.
Yeah, make sure we know that.
Yeah, absolutely. Not everybody, unfortunately, was able to make it to the live chat yet, but it's great to see other people that are taking part in it actually in the chat, even though they're not on the show. So welcome, Calamity.
Calamity, your order went out yesterday, so it's on its way.
Cool. Ship brochure, says Kelly.
It's better than tracking. I just tell you, it's on its way.
Yep.
So I see one question from Cameron for John.
Sure.
Are you nervous by doing that it brings the value of eBay postcards down? I have my opinion, but
for me, no, because I'm now pretty much a bulk postcard dealer. So, and I just to reduce the anxiety of having so many postcards in my house, I just want them out. And if someone else can sell them, I think if people buy from me, you know, nicer cards are going for $1 that I know they can get 15, 20, 30 or more dollars for on eBay. So I got my buck. Everything in this house has already been paid off many times over. So if it's just, am I worried about, you know, selling them for too cheap? No. But I think people can still, there's still a lot of meat left on the bone from what I'm selling to other. And if, you know what, so what if eBay, I don't know how many postcards they have on eBay right now. Probably last time I checked, it was probably 6 or 7 million. You know what? If it gets to 8 or 9 or 10 million, that's still very good for the postcard hobby, collectors, sellers. And that's why I started the channel 4, 5, 6 years ago, because I was going to postcard shows, and I was at 50. I'm the youngest guy there, or one of the youngest. So I started all that to get more people buying and selling postcards, because I didn't want this hobby to die out. And I think that you kind of see that now with postcard shows, that it's now postcard and stamp shows and coins, or stamps, postcards, and photography, just because those collecting areas can no longer support their own, you know, just by themselves. There's not enough dealers and collectors. They're just dying off. And I hope that, you know, younger people, Andrew, I know, you know, when I would jump into your lives, I kind of pictured you as a younger guy, and you look like a younger guy. So that's awesome that younger people are getting in and reselling, talking about it. You know, I don't know, Ben, you're what, 48, 49? No, I'm kidding. It's a facial hair. But anyway, that's why all this, and and to see it finally come into, you know, Paperpalooza, where there's 24 dealers on an internet platform.
Mm-hmm.
If we can get some of the older people who, I don't know if you can access, you know, Whatnot from your Jitterbug Cricket phone or anything like that, but it would be nice to get, you know, those older people who their only mechanism that they know to buy postcards is going to a show or an antique mall, and now, you know, they can see mass quantities of postcards.
It's going to be
on
it's going to be a tough nut to crack there, but it's
And
it's
when
going
they
to be
get their flip
about
phones working.
yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, if they're that isolated from technology, it's going to be nigh impossible to get them in. But it's about finding. I think for a long time, it's going to be resellers. And going back to what Cam was saying, that worried about dragging the price down on eBay. I posted a thing in the Whatnot for Resellers group early on, and everybody was like, "We got to get more buyers. We got to get more buyers," and everybody's freaking out. And when I had a problem with the Whatnot app, and I had to delete it and reinstall it. And when I went to the Google Play Store, there were 500,000 downloads of the Whatnot app, and I was like, "Oh, I wonder what eBay's is." 100 million. So that gives you kind of an idea of where we're at in the potential growth, and you know, the growing stage. This is still in its infancy, so I don't think that Whatnot's having a huge effect on eBay right now. If it is, it's minuscule, and so right now I think it's fine. Not only that, but especially for your higher end pieces, and this goes for any category. I think the rarer stuff, the higher end stuff, those are usually going to take longer to sell, and you're going to have to find the correct buyer for those types of things, especially in an ephemera category. And I don't think that if you think that eventually you're going to find prices on Whatnot to equal out to eBay, I don't think it's ever going to happen, no matter how big they get, because sometimes it just takes a certain buyer to find that piece that they're willing to pay $75 or $100 for. So that's all touching on that. And then also going back to Susan Arrington's question, yes, they will all be auctions. Everything is auctions, but there is a section on each auction for sellers to list buy it now items.
I did see it was Studio 36 Banger who was, you know, had to drop out rather quickly to, you know, family situation. But one of her auctions, she was selling Halloween cards, and I think she was getting $40+ for these Halloween cards. And I'm thinking, you know what, that's pretty damn close to eBay prices. But you know, I
guess I'm thinking more about the kind of the one-off things, like, you know, if you're selling an old real photo from some podunk town in Iowa that nobody's ever heard of, that type of stuff. Like Halloween's obviously hot. It's hot across the board. You can sell anything in Halloween right now. So I think there's a larger buyer pool there. People are going to go on Whatnot and look for Halloween stuff. So, and they'll buy anything, in my opinion.
Yeah, I agree. The one-off small podunk town, yeah, you're right. That's not going to sell. But general categories, good cards from general categories. Sure. I think you could probably get, if you had a really nice brown suit or purple suit Santa, I think you could probably do fairly well. You may still not get eBay prices, but I think you're going to get pretty darn close.
But the way I
think if you were going to market it towards a Christmas only show, I think that would be the way to do that. If you're going to do that, just so you knew that you had that audience in there. Christmas ephemera show, they know what they're looking at. Christmas postcard show, whatever. I think it takes some curating, but you can get that. Like I did a kind of a quote unquote higher end postcard auction and did okay with it. I mean, I had higher starting prices and brought in some decent money for not eBay prices, but decent money for what the cards that I had. So it's definitely doable for sure.
Well, the way I look at it is, let's just use the roadmaps as an example. I can take 3 roadmaps and I can sell them for $10 a piece on eBay. And one may sell in 2027, one may sell in 2029, and one may sell in 2030. Or I can take the 3 of them, and 30 seconds later, I have $3. That's a nice little trade-off right there, in my opinion.
Yeah, for sure.
And John, I do think Whatnot's going to bring the price of Niagara Falls cars up a little bit. Especially the horseshoe falls. That one
There it
right
is.
there.
There it is.
That is priceless.
I have a shoebox full of Niagara because I'm trying to take them out. Someone will buy them. I've changed my tune. I'm going to do something where I will get money for them. Probably good money. Little shenanigans, as I like to say.
Shenanigans. John, I just wanted to speak to your point about, hoping that the youth gets into postcards. I know Andrew's obviously a young guy. He's into it. One of the people in the room right now, Kelly, who I think has purchased several $1,000s worth of stuff from you, he's a young guy, early 30s, I believe, and he's passionate about it too. He's got like 28,000 listings on eBay. So that's encouraging to know that there, like you said, there's going to be people beyond, our age that keep this thing alive.
Yeah,
it really is encouraging.
Between Kelly, Cameron, and Connie, one of them can pick. Cameron picked the color of the new tile in my house.
That's right.
I'll let Kelly pick the Ivy League school my daughter goes to now, and
Ivy League.
Connie can pick the color of my Bentley.
Beautiful.
I will say it's safe to say that the age of postcard sellers or collectors rather skews a lot younger than the age of stamp collectors. So.
Oh yeah, that's for sure.
I still have a huge stamp collection from when I was a kid, and you can't do anything with those anymore.
It's tough.
I had a message today. I've met a few young people like in their early 20s or mid to late 20s who are really into antiques and old things. One person that I met or who came into one of my shows on Whatnot, she posted today we posted 2 items that we have in the Paperpalooza, and she always asks like how old and how much, like that's what she asks, and she wants like really old things. And I think younger people are starting more and more to really like Victorian era like antiques, and there is a kind of gravitation in the younger generation to that time period, I think so. And old things. So I mean, I think that there is a growing market. I think we're just beginning to see it in a sense.
Yeah, and I would agree with that, because I have brick and mortar in addition to the online stuff I do, and I've seen the age in the last. I mean, I've been doing brick and mortar for about 7 years, and the age of the people coming in is definitely starting to skew younger. We have a ton of younger people coming in and buying antiques now, which is promising for the future.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
And it's all of our jobs to market to that demographic, heavily, and let them know. And that's another reason I think Paperpalooza is going to be outstanding, because there are a lot of young people on Whatnot as a general rule. So hopefully we attract some of those folks into our little shindig this weekend.
Yeah, I would love, and I have a 16-year-old daughter, and she's on TikTok all the time. And I was like, I want you to be like my brand manager. I want you to get me on TikTok. And she's like, I just watch TikTok. I don't know how to put anything on TikTok. But yeah, I think, if I had, again, the gumption and, if I just put bare minimum into my YouTube videos, I just can't see myself doing all that fancy stuff on TikTok. I can barely just do basic graphics. I'm like that old person with the Cricket flip phone with YouTube and Instagram and stuff. I know just enough to mess it all up that I have to
be dangerous
to fix it. But yeah, if someone could do TikTok and just this is a postcard from 100 years ago. Look at the message. Look at this and look at that, and do a short little, I don't know, 10, 15, whatever it is. I think that's how one of the sellers in the estate category was approached by Whatnot, saying they're on, I don't know, they have like 100,000 followers on TikTok, and so that's social media influence. But yeah, I would like to have my daughter do TikTok for me, but I don't think that's going to happen.
Hey, Popeyes, can you dance? You can go on there and dance on TikTok.
No. You ever see Elaine from Seinfeld?
She looks good, huh?
Hey, John, I have SM postcards on TikTok, and I went in and cut some of my videos out. I do parts of it, and I put it up there. I have no idea how I'm doing. I haven't checked it probably in 6 to 7 months.
I don't know. There's just too many social media things to get. And by the time you get on TikTok, there's some other thing that's going to come up, and I have no idea how to do that.
Yeah, I can't watch all those things. YouTube's enough for me.
I agree totally.
What we
You know what was interesting that was just brought up earlier? It just dawned on me as I was listening to everybody talking. You know, what's the definition of antique? That's going to change as time goes on. So for somebody that's like Andrew, that's 25, let's just say, right? His definition of vintage and antique is certainly going to skew in another 20, 25 years what we consider. And I wonder what's going to be the product that maybe those of us 40s and 50s consider like a contemporary item that he might consider in 20 years to be vintage or antique. You know, I wonder if there's going to be something else that steps up, like stamps and postcards and older stuff that we consider old now. It should be interesting to see. Like maybe there's something right now that we take for granted that we think is just an everyday item, like people thought of postcards and people thought of all these other things. And as time rolls on, suddenly that becomes, you know, desirable or you know, something that.
So the sad thing is, I'm basically 60 years old. The stuff I see is not antique.
Right. I know. It's weird, right?
But they're in antique stores now.
Yeah.
And that's like, wow, that went by fast.
Yeah. That's kind of what I mean. Yeah. Like it's going to be.
Now, a Super Nintendo game to my son is an antique.
Right. Right.
An Xbox, you know, early one is an antique.
Oh.
Not the silverware or the crystal lamp. They don't want that stuff in their house.
That's so true. Weta has a request of everybody really quick because I know John has to skedaddle momentarily, but maybe if everybody just takes 10, 15 seconds and kind of shouts out what they will be selling this weekend on Paperpalooza. Just go around the horn.
Yeah, I'll go ahead and go first.
Yeah.
Pretty much I have a whole stack, as I mess them up, all postcards, trade cards. I like this, and Marty may like this. These are 1915 to 1917 dental ads out of dental magazines.
Love it.
Aviation photos, but I'm probably 90% postcards and a lot of real photo postcards. I'm pretty much bringing out some of my best stuff. So that's what I'll be selling, but mostly postcards and some other ephemera.
Excellent. Ben?
I got my box here too. Look at this.
What do you know?
So I've got all kinds of stuff in here. I've got old, like,
maybe you can make him big.
Mm-hmm.
Is that possible?
It's not only
yeah,
possible.
make me big. It's time for me to take over this thing.
Oh, there you go.
Hey, there we go. So I've got some old, like, V-mail, a lot of V-mail. What else do I have? I've got a lot of like 50 photos from a 1939 trip to Mexico. They're all 5x7s. Plan me might be in the running for that. Some old Sears catalog pages. I've got some ink blotters. I've got road maps and timetables. I've got postcards, lenticular postcards, old decals. I mean, I've got everything under the sun here for the first one. And then I think for my second one, because I'm doing 2 shows, I'm going to be on in the morning, which I haven't gotten it together yet, but I think I'm going to be doing probably some stereo views, a couple billheads, trade cards, maybe some railroad postcards, because I've got a bunch of railroad depot postcards from different states, so I'll be doing some of those too.
Excellent. Let's go around the horn. Franklin Hill Ventures is up next.
All right. Yeah, I'm going to be selling primarily 1800s, early 1900s stuff. I mean, I've got everything from canceled checks. These are just extra things right here. All my stuff I'm selling is in the other room. You know, Oddfellows stuff, billheads, letterheads, just all this kind of stuff. So I have a ton of it, and I'll probably have a follow-up show the very next week because I already have 30-something lots in the catalog, and I'll probably add a few more, and more than I can sell in an hour anyway. So, yeah, give me a follow and check me out sometime next week for a follow-up Paperpalooza show with lots more 1800s and 1900s stuff.
Excellent. Mark, you want to go?
I'm sorry. Can you put me back real quick? I got to bail out on everybody, so I apologize.
No problem.
But I thank you very much, Marty, for putting this together and having us all in here. And it's great to put faces to voices.
Yeah.
It's nice to meet everybody. And I know there's a whole bunch of people in the chat. Michelle, Trout, and Cameron, and Nick, and Neil are in there. So maybe one of them, if they're not camera shy, can come in and take my place. But I thank everybody for all the hard work and being able to come together and do this. And Ben, thank you very much. This would not have happened without your due diligence and all that stuff. So I definitely appreciate all that. And I can't wait to see you all on Saturday. I'll be in and out of people's. I don't know if I can dedicate the all 2 days, but I'll be around. I got some issues back up in Pennsylvania I got to deal with, but hopefully that's all taken care of Friday. So anyway, yeah, everybody, thank you for all the support, and we can't wait for someone else to do Paperpalooza too.
Thanks so much, Sean. Honor having you. I really appreciate it.
Okay.
We'll see you over the weekend. Take care.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
We'll see y'all.
Bye.
Popeye, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, and he makes a great point. Michelle, if there's anybody else that is interested in popping in to fill Popeye's shoes, so to speak, on the dais here, just shoot me a message on Instagram. I'll give you a link. If not, the rest of us will try to continue the show. I'm sorry, who we had Mark is up next, right? For the presentation. Here we go.
So I'm on Sunday. So spend a lot of money on Saturday and come in Sunday. It's 12 sellers each day. But I have this box right here in the front here. There's 2 auctions in this box. I'm going to go do 10 lots of 25 postcards each. They're breaking out in hotel, motels, Mormons. I got large letters. Probably the best lot out of them all is I actually put a lot of 25 Navy ship photos. And if you're a seller, you don't have to know a darn thing about ships, because right on the back is all the information you need to list that item. The year, the boat name, most of the time it has the number. And then I always do a bonus auction. I got some Coke stuff. I got some ink blotters. I got some die cut Valentines to throw in there. So we each got an hour, but there's a little yellow button at the bottom that says bid. So you want to practice with that. But I think it's going to be great for everybody. Even the buyers are going to get some. I mean, the sellers are bringing out some of their best stuff. Not knowing what it's going to go for. And we're just doing, that's what we do. Thanks, Marty.
No, my pleasure. A great point, Mark, by the way. It's true. Everybody's bringing out some of the best stuff. It's a very special event, and we're treating it as such. We're trying to bring a lot more people into the community and more awareness on whatnot about us and ephemera. So great point there, Mark. I wanted to bring up one comment. Jimmy, everyone, I'll be sure to send all my junk drawer journal makers over for ephemera. Excellent. Please do. Please do. And go ahead and bookmark everybody's show if you would. All righty. We have next up would be the newbies, Bestiques.
Hello. So we're doing all Victorian trade cards on Saturday morning. There'll be probably lots of 5 to 10, depending on the cards, all from the 1800s, 1870 through 1890. And we always add some extra stuff into our auctions that is the prices. So
yeah, we plan to pick up some more things over the next 2 days too. So you never know what we might have.
All right. That's a good idea. You want to leave some surprises out there for everybody, right? You don't want to give away everything. But great job. All right. Let's see. I'm so sorry. Did I skip Lillian? Did not mean to. Lillian, you're up. You are up.
So yeah, I'm on Friday. Penguin Boss. I'm sorry, Saturday. I keep saying Friday. Saturday at 5:00. We have some trade cards, photos. We are doing lots of postcards. I have my box here. I think everybody came prepared with their box. I have a vintage autograph book from 1881. Some old letters. We have a cruise ship memorabilia. So we have a mixed bag. I don't really just stick to just postcards. I have a lot of, which I can't show, but gay women, lot of ephemera that has women on it. So I think that's kind of funny and unique. But But I'm also still adding, and again, I also want to promote that a lot of us are doing free giveaways and some really neat giveaways. So if anything, just come for the giveaways. So. So, but yeah, thanks guys. I appreciate it.
And you know, Marty,
Yes.
Jump over next one. The giveaways. I think a lot of the sellers are doing giveaways, aren't they?
Yeah.
I think we were all encouraged to do them. I mean, yeah, that's just good.
Now this is a one of a million. Awesome postcard coffee cup. Unused. But stuff like that, you're gonna get giveaways in it. We got an hour, but I think the giveaways go real quick.
Yeah.
There's gonna be a lot of giveaways, I think.
Without question. Dave, you because John left, you got thrown into the hot seat here. So we'll put Papergoy up now. There you go. Take it away.
I'm Papergoy, and I'm selling at noon on Sunday. Got a great box of items over here. Real quick, couple of things tying into the military over here. We got some ration books. Everybody loves clowns, so you get some nice little clown photos over here. Couple of other neat things I just wanted to highlight over here. The scrapbookers are going to love stuff like this over here. Just absolutely beautiful 1890s prints from a old seed catalog. And got a couple of, and I don't know anything at all about it. I honestly have not searched whatsoever. I got these absolutely right. So I'm going to sell these 2 watercolors. They actually are identified. The artist is on the back. It's 1932, and the name of the artist, one of them right there. Yep, D.G. Leitner. I have no idea whatsoever. Don't know anything at all about it. I'm not an art guy, so I'm going to sell that. And I wanted to really quickly show you the last piece I have for the auction. I thought this was really, really neat. It's a drawing book, but if you look inside of here, it's got that's of course I picked the worst picture in the world to show, but these are all hand drawings. Doesn't show up too well on here, but it will on my phone. They practice all their artwork, so it's all hand drawings all throughout here, probably from the 1920s, I would guess. So I think that's a really, really nice piece over there, and that's what I'm ending the show with. All cataloged. So pre-bid, bid often, win it all.
Very interesting stuff. Good stuff. All righty. And Andrew, why don't you show everybody what you got?
All right. Well, as I said, we'll be Sunday at 9 p.m.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think we have any postcards, maybe one leather one. I have a complete set of 1922 useful bird cards. So it's a complete set of 30.
And there's the Arm & Hammer brand ones?
Yeah, the Arm & Hammer. These are the 1922. I think they're the 3rd edition. They're in really great condition. It'll be a whole mix of things. This is an old advertising for suits, but it has the original pieces of cloth material. This really nice flowers of the dead. On the back, it has something else, but this and some of the really special pieces is going to be. I mean, those are all kind of cool. Well, I don't know. This one's interesting. It's a permit to kindle fire pad from it. The first inscription is 1930, but the rest of the pad is blank. But yeah. So and then let me see.
They needed a permit to kindle fire.
Yeah, I guess for New Hampshire. I don't really know much about it, but it seems kind of interesting.
Chicago needed that before the fire.
And yeah, 2 of the really special pieces are this 1800s trade card with a timetable on the back in New York. Has the New York Bound Brook route. Yeah, anyway, and then this is a engraving of the Republican wigwam at Chicago before the Republican convention was held, where in 1860, where Lincoln was nominated. So I was going to put that one up too, which is like one I've been kind of holding on for a little while, but it's really, yeah, and some other stuff, but yeah, a mix anyway.
Yeah, quite a nice mix too. I
Cool
mean,
stuff,
very
yeah.
impressive stuff. Absolutely. I think everybody here was like had their mouths open when we were watching. You're like, wow, a lot of
I was
variety.
like,
Some,
You can bid and win. You can bid.
that's right.
Pre-bid.
Good stuff, everybody. Good stuff. I'm going to be doing print ads. Surprise, surprise. So I think it's like 15 lots I made up. It's, I'm just trying to keep into that under that hour. If I need more, I can certainly grab them. I don't have Popeye's volume, but I have a lot, a couple 100,000. So print ads for me. Anybody else have any questions out there? I'm sorry, there's so much chat going on. I was trying to read through as you guys were showing off your wares here. Does anybody have any questions that I missed? If you just want to write them again, or if anybody else wants to scan really quickly and point it out to me, I'd be happy to pull it up. My wife is in here talking with everybody. Great. Baking cookies. Good. Halloween cards. Yes, my wife runs a bakery, an in-home bakery.
Yeah.
So if anybody wants some really good cookies, let me know. Who doesn't love cookies? All right.
that household has a lot of interesting professions in it.
Indeed, it does. Indeed, it does. Variety is the spice of life, young man. You see, you'll learn that as you go.
So I got a question, Marty.
Yes.
That a lot of people ask me about, and other sellers have asked me about.
Yeah.
These dollar starts, or do I start it at 5? Do I start it at 3? What is the other people in the panel here? How do they come up with the number they need to start? Like my postcards, I started at, it's a lot of 25 postcards. I don't have a lot into them, but some of the other people need to get more than $1. But there's a big thing going back and forth about dollar starts. What's the
I never start anything at $1 anymore. When I first started, I fell into that dollar trap a little bit, but I usually start things at whatever. Close to the minimum of what I would want to get for it. Like this weekend will be an exception. As I mentioned, I'm starting everything at $2 special event. I thought, hey, give everybody a chance to get some good deals. And, and I always give good deals, but yeah, $1 is a losing proposition. $2 is the minimum I ever start anything at. Most things start 3 to 5, usually in that range.
Do you have some things not sell because it started too high?
Yes, certainly. I have enough other outlets though that I don't worry too much about it. A lot of times, somebody mentioned it earlier. I kind of use that same philosophy of I can sell 30 things in an hour or 2 hours or whatever that would take me years to sell otherwise. So I'm willing to take less. But if they don't sell for at least some specified minimum amount, I'll take them to one of my booths or put them on one of the 6 online platforms I sell on. So I have plenty of other outlets, but I'm definitely changed my paradigm to give Whatnot a lot of times the first shot at things for a good price.
So do you think the prices of starting on Whatnot will steadily increase as they grow and people come in, more buyers and sellers?
Well, yeah, I think so. I think just piggybacking on what Stuart said, like if you look at the way the financials break down, if you saw a lot of, let's say 20 postcards, 25 postcards for $1, and you're using one of those cardboard mailers to ship them out, Whatnot's taking 30 cents off the transaction. Then they're taking 12% off the selling price. So now you're down to 60 cents plus 25 cents for a mailer. Now it's down to 40 cents or 35 cents, So it's like starting at $1 can be a losing proposition if you don't have the audience to start things there. I sell probably 10 lots of 20 postcards today for $2 a piece. If I would have started them at $1, they might have sold for $1, and they wouldn't have been worth my time. Yep. So that's and going back to what I said earlier, when I had sort of the premium postcard show, I had starting bids set higher based on what I could get for it on Whatnot. They were not on Whatnot, but on eBay.
How'd you do on that?
I did fairly well.
Okay.
I did fairly well. Now there was some stuff that didn't sell for sure, but I was like, if it doesn't sell, fine, no big deal. I'll leave it on eBay or put it on eBay. If it doesn't sell, it's no skin off my back. At least I'm getting what I want minimum for the cards that I was putting up. Like I sold some Halloween cards and some real photos and stuff for 20, 30. I think one went for 35 or 40. So it's dual but going back to starting bids, I always pick what I'm comfortable with.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I do hope to get to the point. I mean, there are some hard goods sellers that are selling like, glassware vases, Fenton stuff. They start everything at $1 because they've got enough of an audience. They know that stuff's going to go for a minimum amount. I'd love to get to that point, but I don't feel like I'm quite there yet to be able to, confidently start things at $1. But I guess it can be done once you get the audience.
And even when you get to that point, when you have the audience, if you're starting everything at $1, then people are just formally bidding. I mean, start it higher if you know that you're going to get that amount. Just start it higher and don't worry about it. I mean, if it doesn't sell, it doesn't sell. Run it in another auction.
Or for eBay, like you said. Yeah.
I mean, sorry. I was just going to say, I've had like an item not sell at one point in the auction, and then like an hour later it sold for like $30, or we got a lot of stuff. Yeah, it really matters about who's in there. I mean, we're dealing with very small audiences, so for have two people who are interested in something, it's not always going to be the case that two people are.
Because Whatnot's audience is so transient. I mean, it's such a transient audience. I mean, I know when I'm watching auctions, I'm jumping all over the place. And you're right. I mean, you might have something that you start and it doesn't sell, and then it just takes off the next time because you got two different people in there.
Yeah.
Now, the people in my auctions, they're pretty cool. I do postcards. I mostly postcard people, and I have people come in and out, and I usually hold a good 10 to 20 people in between there. I don't have a lot of followers because I'm still new at it. Now, over time, you get followers in there. What is a good thing you guys do? And I'm asking these questions. I got 8 people here or 7 people.
Yeah.
I can ask, how do you keep people to stay and not go out? What is your tricks, or what are you think you're doing that keeps people in there?
Well, I think I'm going to start doing. I'm eventually going to do it. Start doing what Stuart is doing now, and that's facing the camera during my auctions, and I think that the retention rate's going to be higher if I start doing that, and I think that people should try to at least experiment with it. But other than that, I mean, I think just by virtue of what the app is, what Whatnot is, you're going to have a high turnover rate because it's social media. Social media is built into this, and there's a high turnover rate. People's attention spans are this high, so this long. So, I mean, I probably have in an hour and a half show, I probably have 5 or 6x turnover if I had to take a stab at it. Now, there's probably 5 to 7 people that'll stay in there for the long haul, but it's mostly just constant turnover.
So, Marty, also, I'm asking the sellers, but we can also ask the people in the chat, why do they stay?
Yeah, that's great. Yeah.
Well, tying back to
in an auction, what keeps you guys in an auction?
And Steve made a good point. Memphis Blazer is engaging with the chat helps.
Yeah.
Without question.
Sure to call people out. I try to call every single person out that comes into my chat.
Hey,
it's hard
Steve,
to do sometimes,
me too.
But
if you notice, Steve, I read your comment. I just did that, so I engaged with you. So
I think for me, keeping up with the chat, and another thing I found that works for me, maybe not for everyone, but I have my items in the store, and I make sure that I don't have to stay in that order. So I'm always telling them that if they want to leave, if they see something in the store, and it could be my last item, I'll run that for them first if they really want me to. And then again, if it doesn't sell, it doesn't sell. I can rerun it later in the order that I'm going. But I make sure to always keep repeating that. And as I've gotten better with that and my chatting on the app, then I find that I get more sellers that way. Or they might ask me, I might say, I also have, because we do stamps as well, which, again, is fairly new on Whatnot. So it's not like going really big, but we had a stamp show like some weeks back and we did relatively well. And I'll say we have like a huge collection of stamps. And I will say, if you are interested in something stamp related, let me know what that is and see if I can pull it for you. I'm not going to go crazy, but I mean, that just seems to work for us.
We've also found that the catalog is really helpful. I mean, sometimes it doesn't work if it's a discovery auction and we're kind of pulling it as we go. But I think we've noticed a big difference if you are able to get the items up ahead of time, and maybe somebody that's not a follower happens to click on it and see something they like. And I think a lot of people do bounce between different lives at the same time, so the reminder feature on individual items that they have now seems to help.
I think Allie makes a great point just in general. It's about showmanship too, and welcoming the people into your show as guests and interacting with them. All stuff that people have touched on. But she's right. Dead air, no chat. It's a good way to turn people off, whether it's on a stage or in a storefront or on whatnot. So
here's another.
On the showmanship point, like,
yeah,
you guys may sense my voice is probably a little bit different on this video than it is in my auctions. I kind of have sort of a little bit of a game showy type. All right, guys, and trying to call out bids and like trying to keep things.
Brand new car.
Yeah, right. And I mean, I turn it up I crank it up just a little bit. It's not totally casual. I'm still myself, but it's like you have to inject some energy into the show.
Absolutely.
And on that point, music or no music?
Oh, music, but good music.
I do music, yeah.
Good. I always ask the audience, several times during the show, is the volume okay? Because it is hard to tell when you're going through a phone how much it's picking up. And I even have done poll. I a lot of times I have a bunch of Spotify playlists, like a lot of Hot 100s from different years, and I'll ask people to vote. What music, what year do you want to hear the Hot 100 from? And I'll get a lot of engagement that way. And trying to find that mix of social and selling's tough, because I know some people just want to you to fire through, but that interaction is important. So trying to find that balance to where you're not, making it completely a social show, but putting enough in there where people want to stay. Because to Ben's point, when I switched to the front of the camera, I mean, my engagement went up. I mean, exponentially. My retention rate went up. The number of people I would have in a show went up. I mean, I was struggling to get 10 people, and when I went in front of the camera, all of a sudden I went 20 to 30 people, and try to have a mix of catalog items. I mean, I always have 30 to 50 items in the catalog, but then the other thing I found real popular, I mean, I've got so many boxes of stuff in my garage that I don't even know what's really in them where I bought out of states. And I just bring those in and start pulling stuff out, and people like that unknown. It's like the reason they watch Storage Wars or the reason they watch, American Pickers. It's that whole creating that anticipation that you might pull something cool out of the box.
Yeah.
So going back to the music thing, when I applied to Whatnot, I applied for video games. I wasn't planning on selling ephemera because I didn't even know if it was an option, because it was under the end Whatnot, it was buried, blah blah blah. So when I started watching shows, a lot of video game sellers are just like blaring music and they're screaming over this stuff, and I personally found it distracting. So if anybody's familiar with a game called Gran Turismo, it's a racing game, and when you go to the dealership, they have jazz music playing in the background. And I was like, this is going to be my background music. It's not intrusive. You can put it on low. It's just, it fills the dead air. And I've gotten tons of compliments on just having low instrumental music playing in the back. And I've also read this in an article or something, but when people hear music with lyrics in the background, they get distracted and start singing the lyrics in their head and start thinking of other songs and things like that, and it takes their focus away from what's going on in front of them. So that's always been my approach. I like to have something for myself and for my buyers, my audience, in the background just to fill dead air.
Without question. I like to theme mine. Like, you were talking earlier about potentially like a postcard show, like having a common theme, like an all Christmas card show, whatever, right? Or all Halloween. What I do, the print ads, I do something similar. I'll have like all 1940s, World War II era print ads. And to set the mood, so to speak, I'll play 40s music in the background. It kind of creates an atmosphere within the show and a reason to be there. And same thing. I got a lot of compliments about that. So that's my thing, is theming. Trying to have like I said, a welcoming place to be. Well, anyway, I just wanted to step out for 1 second, everybody. We have a brand new person coming in who requested to fill Popeye's shoes. They're mighty big shoes to fill. But coming in to us, another contestant, another auctioneer, Lady Luck Junk Remarket. Welcome aboard. There she is. Sorry, I slaughtered that name. I'm so sorry.
It's okay. I slaughter it myself all the time.
Well, hi,
that was my air drum roll for you.
Yeah. You want to say hi to everybody?
Yeah.
Cool. You get the full screen. Hold on. There you go.
Oh, no, don't do that. So
You're a star now. You're a star.
I tried to keep this area clean, but since I don't, like, it just kind of, you know how it is. So
All
can
too
y'all
well.
hear me okay?
Yep.
Yeah.
So I did get a new mic a while back, and I never set it up properly. But I'm Danica. I live in Fort Worth, Texas, and I sell junk, good junk. I just got into reselling like in 2018. I prefer to shop at Goodwill outlets, and I'm really drawn to paper. Like whenever, I mean, how can you leave it behind, right? It's like books and magazines and labels and candy wrappers, and it's going to the landfill. So I've just been kind of hoarding it. And Cameron, Gravity Goods, what is his postcard channel? I don't know. I met him in Cincinnati at a meetup, and anyway, we're good buddies.
I was at that. I was at the reseller rally.
You were? Who's
Yeah.
you?
New to you provisions, Ben.
You were?
Yeah, I was there.
I, honestly, I road tripped there with Tracy, and we shopped for like 5 days before we got there. So when we got there, I was just kind of like, I was kind of dead, honestly.
Yeah,
But,
it was a
whoa,
lot.
we met.
Yeah, look at that.
Anyway,
it was a fun time though.
And he told me about this, and I said, Cameron, I'm not an expert. These people, that like this is their business. Like this is what they do. And he's like, but you've got good stuff. Hey, my husband's in here. I sent him a message. I'm about to go on a live. Anyway, with that being said, I'm bringing some things that I have picked up along my journey, and I'm not an expert, like I said, but I am really enjoying diving into all the information that I've found. Like I didn't even know, what is your name, Jiminy? Flip it.
Mm-hmm.
Is it
Marty? Yeah. Yep.
Marty, I've never seen you before, or any of these people. So it's so cool to like open up, to new different communities and different types of things that we can collect and sell. Hopefully not collect too much, but anyway, so since y'all are mostly experts, this is something I've got loaded, and I'm kind of trying to get over the anxiety of not being an expert, but also just have to be real, right? This is a newspaper. I hate to tear it up, so I'll be very careful here. But this, like, how could you leave this behind, right? This is from 1896.
You're an expert.
Am
You
I?
can't leave anything behind. You're an expert. Don't worry about it.
So the thing, I don't know what I'm bringing is any good, but I do think it's going to be a fun time. I look forward to coming to everybody's shows and modding for whoever's. I know we do it before or after. I don't really understand how that works, but I'm here to go with the flow. And I met Franklin Venture Stewart. I met him at the Boss Reseller Remix last year, and we're going to get to see each other again this year. So that's cool. Thanks for letting me introduce myself.
Very cool. No, welcome aboard. Glad you chimed in. Glad we had a spot. Theoretically, we actually have one more spot. I don't know if we could fit 10 squares in here, though. It would kind of shift the whole thing. We're nice and even at 3 at the top and 3 in the middle and 3 in the bottom. But if anybody else is out there wants to come in that's part of this, let me know. Just send me a message. We probably still have a little while. How's everybody doing with time? You guys still have some time to hang out? Does anybody have to break? Just let me know, please. P-Boy's probably got to hit the sack pretty soon. In fact, he's probably way past his bedtime already.
Yeah, I've been up since 2:30. You know it. You know it.
I do know it.
Yeah, we're gonna post Malone it if we get one more, but give it a shot. So, I got all these questions and whatnot. I talk to other resellers, but postcards. Getting a panel like this is just amazing to get everybody on here.
Yep.
So when I first started doing whatnot, it destroyed my office for like 2 weeks because I was trying to figure out what to do.
Yeah.
So I said, okay, I got all these postcards. So I just started throwing them out there. Then people want them curated. So I put them in. So I got 80 categories I use. So when I know what I need to go buy. And I figured out a lot of people watching YouTube and talking to them, they spent most of their time prepping, the fun time doing the auction, and a lot of time shipping.
Mm-hmm.
So I asked them what they made an hour. Oh, I don't know. So I I said, how can I decrease the time I do an auction? So I'm down to 10 lots an auction, 25 cards each. I want to be done in an hour. That's all the time I want to take up. That's all I want to take people's time up. So if you buy 25 cards from me, you get them in a box. If you buy 75 cards, you get them in a box. If you buy 100 cards, you get them in a box. I don't pack them with cardboard, wrap them up. I pay a little bit more, but my shipping is like 20 minutes after a show.
Mm-hmm.
And so my time is down. And even bubble mailers, I found a little envelope thing I can put them in. So I got my shipping down. My prep time is about an hour. I got about 3 hours into an auction at that. Now, where in the beginning I had 6 to 8 hours trying to put cards together and stuff. Did you guys run into that as well?
Especially the first couple, I sure did when I was just trying to get used to the interface itself for shipping and whatnot is a little different than what I'm accustomed to. I mean, I'm used to it now, but those first couple were a little scary. And but yeah, and again, I'm selling mostly paper as well, even though I did some record auctions as well, which went really well. As how many times can I say well? I did some record auctions as well, which went really well. But they did, and that's a little more involved shipping, but it's still pretty simple. It was just the actual, like I said, the interface for shipping was my challenge initially on whatnot. But I think I have the knack now. I have it down.
See, the hardest thing for me is setting up the auctions. That's
you do a lot.
The hardest thing. But they get easier as time goes on because what I do is I've got about 40,000 unlisted items out in the garage. I go out there and I start pulling stuff out of boxes. And actually, to anybody that does this regularly, setting up the auction in and of itself, how you want to pace your auction is really there is an art to it. Definitely an art form to it. Because say I've got postcards along with other stuff. I don't want my first 4 lots to be postcards and my next 3 to be photos and my next 4 to be. So you want to set them up. So what I end up doing is when I'm out in the garage, I start boxing. I've got a banker box. I throw stuff into it. Hey, this is good for the sale. This is good for the sale. Well, obviously, I don't list everything I bring in or sell everything I bring in. So some of that I save for the next week. So week after week, it gets easier because I've already got some of the stock pulled. And then if you ever see my preview videos, I've got stuff laying all over the floor. And that's literally how I do it is hey, here's 4 billheads. That's good for a lot. Here's 6 photos. That's good for a lot. And I just leave them laying all over the place, do my preview video, and then I catalog my auction off of that. But that's what takes all the time for me, about an hour to set that all up.
Anybody else?
Building on what Mark said.
Yeah.
As far as reducing the show time, I've started doing that as well. I've started doing about double what you're doing. So I'm doing 20 lots of 20 generally is what I stick to. And it makes it allows it, and preloading everything helps because I don't have to worry about using stickers or anything. I just write it on the sleeve. And even if it's not on the sleeve, like the only thing I really need to write on the sleeve is the number if I have 2 lots of, say, Christmas cards, so I know which one's lot 1 and lot 2. But the being able to move through this, I've even reduced my time down. As like Steve, for instance, is in pretty much all my auctions. I've moved it down from 30. I tried 15, but there was something wonky with the clock, so I've started doing 20-second auctions from 30. I know 30 is kind of industry standard, but I'm trying to reduce it down. I try to stay within 90 minutes to get all of it done. Just because I felt like if I sat there and talked about every single card and pointed out all the things, it just takes way too long. People have an idea of what you have when you're showing it. They get a better view of it than they do on eBay, at least in lot form. If you're buying postcard lots on eBay.
Yep.
So I've really tried to speed things up, and also keeping all the lot sizes the same makes shipping a lot easier too.
I went to 20 seconds as well. I watched an auction last night. It was 15 seconds. I think he missed some bids. It just was, but the slow, wasn't sudden death. And he went to 45 seconds on some things in a minute. It was just too long. So 20 seconds, I think, is right there. 30 seconds.
That's a sweet spot, huh? I was actually going to ask the group what you before Ben got into that. What everybody was using as far as the time frame. I'm usually 30 seconds, but I've gone as long as a minute with records because it's kind of a different thing. We have to show more in a record, like back and front cover and the record itself. But I think 30 seconds is my sweet spot. Is everybody right around that? pretty much.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. Because you don't want to lose people. We talked about earlier about retention, how important it is when you're doing an auction, keeping people in your room as much as possible. And I think that goes a long way towards that, the quick auctions.
So when I was doing this, say I got this card here. And this is a really nice card, by the way. It's not in the auction, but it will be somewhere. I bring it up and I read it, and I say the girl's swinging on here. Look at the pink things, and I'll say post it and read the message. Then I go to the next one. After 25 cards that people have lost, and I started getting messages in there. Come on with it. Come on.
Yeah.
So now I just say, hey, girl swinging on here, posted 65 linen. Boom.
Bam.
And I get done. I start it, and I go through them one more time.
I think it's especially important to keep things moving if you're not doing all one theme. So if you're not doing all print ads, you're not doing all postcards, you're not doing all records, you're not doing all trade cards. If you're doing postcards, records, trade cards, and billhead or whatever, you got to keep it moving, because there's going to be buyers in your auction that are not interested in postcards. They don't care what you're going to show them. They don't want you taking a bunch of time. They're like, let's go. I want to see the next one. Or even in postcard lots, if you have a lot of state cards from Ohio and you've got a buyer that has no interest in those because they've never sold them well or whatever, they have an ex-girlfriend from Ohio or whatever it is, keep it moving. Move on to the next one. I think it's important to not sit around.
And I try to look at the audience. I got Kelly, I got Steve, I got the other sellers in there. It's mostly sellers in there.
Yeah.
It's a church. It's a mountain. It's Mount Mark. It's just they're looking to see if there's anything special in that lot. They're going to pay $3, $4, $5 for, and some of them taken off. But I don't want to waste people's time and my time. We know what sells.
Yeah.
And these guys are good. So I try to, I don't want to demeanor them. They know what sells. And so I can move faster. Now, if I got a lot of different people in there, I think I would slow down a little bit. But I found I'd make more money if I slow down just a little bit.
I need to slow down.
I got to step out for just 1 second. I'll be right
back.
Oh,
no problem. Sure.
I mean, I know that we do it a little bit different. Like our auctions are a lot more like slow paced and like engaging with the chat. And we usually do auctions like for 4 or 5 hours, like, longer auctions, and it's kind of just like hanging out more. And I can pull from like anything from jewelry to ephemera to like porcelain or glass, and kind of like see what people are into. And there's a discovery like kind of aspect to that too, and people like hanging out. And sometimes I usually try to play the piano a couple of times, like for people during the show, and which is fun and stuff. Like,
if I did that, I would scare them off for sure.
Yeah.
So and like it kind of like having it be like a fun
an event.
Yeah. So.
But like most things, it comes down to what you sell, like you always hear on YouTube. It's true, and that the same goes in your whatnot auction. If you're somebody like Mark or Stuart, you just want to blaze through and get rid of a bunch of postcards, in volume. You have to have a fast-paced show where you're showing off, antiquities and pieces and stuff, and people probably do want to spend some time and look at the details. It's just the product. It's a totally different product, so it requires more attention, certainly than a postcard.
Yeah, hey Andrew, anytime you want to come co-host one of my shows and play the piano,
yeah, there you go.
So
we talked about atmosphere. How about that? Welcome, ladies and gentlemen.
And welcome to my piano player, Andrew.
What I mean, there's just special moments. Like I got a lot of letters a long time ago, and I was opening them like live in the show, and I had never seen them inside. They hadn't been opened in probably like 70 years, and one of them had like a Christmas card with the sheet music for Christmas in it, and I like took it and played it on the piano. So there's that element of like.
I was in that stream.
Oh,
it
you
was the first show that I watched of yours. Yeah.
Okay.
That's cool.
Yeah.
So there's
really well. Oh.
What's that?
And you play really well.
Not the best, but yeah. Yeah. So I don't know. For us, we like longer shows and kind of have that element of like, trying to have nice social moments, and that's like not for everyone, and that's very that's tiring too. Like after 5 hours, you're tired and you're not very organized. Like, oh, it's going to be this. Like you're kind of all over the place.
Yep.
Now, I got all these questions. I'm sorry, Marty.
No, keep them coming. It's great.
I have a hard time keeping things in focus on the camera on my phone when I start the auction on the phone, because my bifocals and some of my old eyes, I got to lift it up to see it, and then all of a sudden I'm off to the left for the next two and to the right. So I've been very conscious of trying to keep it centered. But I guess I'm probably the worst at it. Do you guys use a phone sideways, iPad, or to get a bigger view? Or
I fight the focus constantly.
Okay. I'm normal.
Yeah, constantly.
Yeah. It's almost expected, actually. Yeah.
Yeah, that's funny because I never have that problem, and I actually found myself today on my comic show where I kind of was half paying attention to what I was doing because I was looking at the next comic, and I noticed that I was holding it exactly right in the middle of my camera or my phone where I'm supposed to. So I'm like, I think I've been doing this too long. If I can, without even looking at what I'm doing, focus it right in the center. But when you're selling something like comics, it's not that hard. Every time you know what height to put it at and put the next one up.
I think Ben's giving us a real world example of the focusing issues one can have. There you go. Live TV, folks. Live TV. Now you know what Milton Berle went through.
Yeah, Kelly, there's some things in the comments like Kelly said, and Steve were talking about flipping the cards too fast. I think I'm a little quick sometimes.
Yeah.
I think that's why I went to 10 lots and 25 instead of 15, 25 lots. I can slow down a little bit, still get my hour in or so. And when there is some special cards in a lot, I do get a few extra dollars to feed a fish or a bird. That's all I do this for.
Yeah.
That bird eats peanuts like going on style.
Yeah, they're not cheap.
Cashews.
He's actually sleeping. He's pretty good now. Usually off auction night, he goes upstairs. He's sleeping right now.
This will be my first show not to be in front of the camera. So
Oh, really?
I ordered a little light thing that Cameron said he uses. It's like a weird tripod folding. Is that what y'all use?
Yep. Yeah,
Okay.
I do. Because you can hang the camera directly over a table or something if you want to display things. It works
Yeah, I
really
probably
well.
need to do some sort of test run myself.
Yeah, ask Travis Griffin's in my chat right now. Ask him about test mode, how that works.
Oh no,
Poor
no.
guy.
I actually listened to y'all's live where y'all were discussing it and how it went for him, and I was like, oh my gosh, he's got such a great personality. Like once he gets past the the technical bumble.
Exactly.
See, I've had my son helping me with whatnot, and now he's not going to be either. So I'm like, I'm still at that new point because I've never started a show or started the auction because he's been there doing that. So
yeah,
y'all bear with me.
You'll do good.
This is interesting. Calamity Photo saying he's had success and compliments using dual cameras to show the front and back.
Are you using OBS for that?
Yeah, exactly. You'd have to, right? You'd have to use some other. You couldn't just run two cameras simultaneously without using an OBS type thing. That's really cool.
I guess you could have two accounts and make another camera your co-host, and then.
Is that how you do it as a co-host? That's interesting.
I don't know.
Yeah, but like Ben said, you could use OBS, I think, and have multiple, right? Just bring up multiple sources. I don't know. I haven't tried it, but that's kind of cool.
Yeah, I have seen people just using the co-host feature with another account, and they'll just have one, the co-host be the camera on the item, and then their camera, and it's a simple way without using OBS. But
that's cool. Nice workaround.
I could do a side view of a postcard.
There you go.
Yeah,
that really is impressive. Good job.
Yeah,
Calamity.
I've considered having a setup where I have the camera and then using my laptop camera and doing it that way, but I haven't pulled the trigger on it yet. It's hard to get out of my ways.
Yeah,
what's doing right now is working. I don't want to overcomplicate things.
Yeah, I started on the phone and I run it on my MacBook right in front of me, and I get going the cards. I forget about the chat, and so I've been trying to keep up with the chat, and I forget about the cards. So I suck.
No, not at all. Do you guys ever try to be creative? Like, I think one of the hardest things on YouTube, on any social platform like this, is being original. It's so easy when there's so many people doing things It's so easy to kind of just fall in line and do the same things. I'm struggling with that a little bit on YouTube, trying to come up with like innovative videos, something new. And you get that sense that everything's been done before. And I don't think it has been, and certainly not on Whatnot, where it's such a relatively new platform and the sky's the limit. Does anybody think about anything, just from a presentation point of view, to do like what he just said about having 2 cameras, for instance?
I had someone tell me on YouTube, says, even though it was done before, it was never done by you.
Yeah.
So Marty, this live show is just like any other live show. So if you got a whole stack of people in here tonight.
True.
But it's you. It's your personality.
Right.
How you brought it together and brought us in and stuff. That was your idea. That's you. So even though it's done before, it's you. And I think about that all the time. When I do my videos, it's like, are they going to watch this?
Yeah, exactly.
What do they want? They told me what they wanted, and I continue to do it.
That's a great point. You do what you shouldn't really do what you want to do necessarily. You want to do what your audience wants you to do, if that makes any sense. Like check out the numbers and what is the most popular.
Well, I disagree with you on that one because
how dare you? Okay. Good night, Paperboy. No, I'm
conflict. And the reason why is because if you're just chasing the numbers, then you end up with nothing but haul videos. And the show that we did yesterday, shameless plug, $1 Million Peddlers, was all about when you age-proofing your business, basically, and I'm beginning to notice it because I'm in my mid-50s. I'm starting to get the tinges of pain when I reach up above me and move heavy boxes of books, things like that. Not a fascinating topic, but it's something that needs to be said, that people watching it will say, hey, wait, you're absolutely right. I can't bend down anymore. I don't want the heavy stuff on the top. I don't want. Does it draw a lot of views? No, but it's a topic that we enjoy doing, and it's something that needed to be said. So just be original as best you can and do what you like to do, and the people will follow.
No, I agree totally. That's what I was starting off with. It's tough to be original, but that's my quest, is to be as original as possible.
Yep.
I totally agree with you.
I'm always looking for something different, someone new to watch, because people get viewer fatigue.
Yeah.
I mean, some people are putting videos out every day. I can't watch them anymore because I'm sitting there, I watch them once a week. But I don't know if people watch mine once a week, but viewer fatigue is there. So if you overdo it, and you got to find that middle ground always, and it's hard to find. You don't do enough, they don't watch. If you do too much, they don't watch.
Right. You want to be consistent, but
remember why people go to YouTube? How to ship on Whatnot.
Yeah.
Like
how to list on eBay. Basic stuff.
Which I never do in my videos because it's like, for me, just a scrapbook. Like honestly, it's just I'm scared to educate anybody because I'm still learning. So
when you teach people, you learn.
This is true.
Oh yeah.
Because you got to think about it more, put it together. Mm-hmm. I learn more about these postcard videos I do. Some of them I don't know a darn thing about, but once I get done, I know what they are.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
I think the most valuable aspect of the videos I do is the comments. The comments could be your most valuable resource because they'll lead you to what you should do next. Sometimes, I've had suggestions. Hey, why don't you do a video on this? Or I'd like to learn more about this. And then they give you the ideas. It's just you executing on those ideas. That's like my favorite. It's like getting a referral in business, something free like that. So I really enjoy comments, and I solicit them in all my videos. Please leave comments, because I think really it could be very fruitful for you. It gives you the ideas. They're coming out and saying, "I loved your video about X. Could you teach me more about this?" And so,
I love everybody in this panel here should have a YouTube channel. If you got on tonight, you can do a YouTube channel.
Well, that's for sure. And the quality, I must say, I said this at the onset of the show, actually, before we even went live. I was so impressed with everybody that came on tonight. Professional. I mean this really, because not everybody's like this, but the professionalism, as far as like the cameras, everybody looks crystal clear. Hopefully everybody hears everyone well. I'm very thankful and impressed by all of you. So yeah, if you don't have a channel, you definitely need to get one going.
We're all medicated very well.
Yeah.
I was going to say, Lillian, that once you had your first live, it's a bug. Then you're ready.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I mean, I will say that, it's a little bit different. Anna and I have we made a small trailer for YouTube, like a trailer video. And we've been thinking for a long time about how we want to do, if we want to do YouTube. And I think we never wanted to because looking at the way that other people make YouTube videos, we never wanted to do that. So it was like, we didn't feel like, oh, we should just do that because we'll get viewers or people following us to sell things. So it's taken us many months or like, close to a year to kind of like really find a way how we want to do it. Like that is unique to us. And like, kind of like what Paperboy is saying, like, when he made the video about like getting older and like the pain, I mean, he really found a necessity to make a video about that.
Yeah.
And I think in my experience, like I write music, like, and my experience is that like, you're always trying to like to bring out a need that you have. Like you're trying to fulfill some inner need. Like, so in the music, it's like, you're trying to make something that expresses what is like, it resolves some inner contradiction, like when it's completed. So just like what Paperboy's video.
But just think about those videos that you didn't make because you weren't for sure. Those are the best ones sometimes.
Yeah, yeah.
Just about to say,
They told me to do your first 100 crappy videos. You'll learn everything about YouTube. Once you get 100 crappy videos done, you're gonna know what goes and that goes. But the newer, I don't go back and look at my older ones.
When I started reselling, I didn't think I'd be hawking postcards and billheads.
Right.
And now it's the main part of my business. I started out selling everything that all the other YouTubers and stuff were doing.
You got any more postcards? It's good stuff right
What's
there.
That?
I said I love the postcards. Like they're the space that they take up, like the ease of listening,
for sure.
like the fact
But
that
I was
go ahead. I'm sorry.
I was primarily a video game guy and kind of, looking for bolo lists and stuff like that until I figured out that not only did I land in a spot that I'm interested in because of my mom used to take me to antique malls and stuff when I was a kid and like always been interested in old stuff, but then just logistically and everything else, it just all made sense for me. But I never knew that I'd end up there. And if I hadn't started, selling on eBay, other stuff on eBay, I never would have ended up here. So
absolutely.
Well, thank you, Travis. When I was a kid.
Yeah, back in my day. Apparently people are having trouble on Whatnot. I was just reading through
Posty's live. We're supposed to be doing a live thing, so that's probably why.
I seriously didn't know who he was either until one of the shows somebody told me he's a rapper. I'm like, okay, why is this a big deal? Just because he's famous and he's on he's on Whatnot?
Isn't he the guy with all the tattoos on his face?
He's a really nice guy. He really is.
He's playing. They did a contest and he's playing a match of Magic the Gathering against that winner for $100,000.
Oh, okay.
So that's why they're doing it, because he's a big Magic the Gathering fan.
Oh, it makes me want to jump on right now and watch.
So we're holding our own, all things considered. If you got this superstar out there, I think we're doing pretty well, aren't we?
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure the browser not working is directly related to that, because I can remember something in the whatchamacallit feed. Gone blank on the name of it, but anyway, that they had mentioned that during the Post Malone show they would be disabling browser access. You would have to use the app. So
the app and the phone, they probably come in a different way and use different resources.
Yeah, we usually use both. So Luke will actually be on the phone and I'll have the laptop to get each of the items ready. I would say the phone app definitely works a lot better than the laptop. There's, I think, some more glitching with that, but usually it works.
Yeah, I broke giveaways when I first did my first show. I couldn't understand on the laptop why I couldn't do a giveaway. I thought I broke Whatnot. So then I went to the phone and did it. Oh, look at that. That works.
Hopefully they won't to shut the browsers down for Paperpalooza.
Well, when my show comes on, everybody's going to be there. So we might have an issue.
That's right.
Houston will have a problem. Mark's live. I think it's 6:00 Eastern time Sunday, guys. Right after Matt, before Mermaid.
Yeah, that's a great point. Did everybody announce their time slot? I know Ben has a couple of them, which is wonderful. But if everybody wants to quickly just say what time they're on and what day.
I got to go check again.
Saturday.
I'm on
one at a time, guys. Come on, Ben. Go ahead, Ben. Now, boys and girls. Go ahead, Paperboy. Go ahead.
Live Sunday at noon. Sunday.
Obviously. Mystiques?
Saturday at 11.
All right. Lillian?
Saturday at 5.
A lot of Saturdays. Stuart?
Sunday at 2. So make sure you recharge those credit cards.
That's right. They're going to be smoking after Saturday. Andrew?
A Sunday at 9 p.m. At night.
9 p.m. Wow, very good. Danica?
Sunday at 4.
Wonderful. And Mark?
Sunday at 6 o'clock Eastern. I'm Central.
Yeah,
Oh,
I'm
okay.
Central too, so it'll be 3 o'clock my time. Our time. Mark.
Eat something cheap. Get a Happy Meal. Don't spend the money at the restaurants during that time. Hit the bid button.
I am Saturday at 1 p.m. Eastern. That's a great point. Is everything Eastern? I guess, is that what we're basing when you have the time? It's on the Eastern time, right?
That's what it's
like on the. Okay, cool. Just for continuity. Awesome. And somebody that's asked, I think it was Travis, asked where they could find the schedule. Ben made a fantastic graphic that kind of piggybacking off of Whatnot provided us, but enhancing it a little bit, making it a little more user friendly. And I know I posted it on my personal Instagram. I'm assuming everybody out there is going to do the same. Posted it on social media. So just look out for anybody that you follow. I recommend you follow all of us, by the way. But check out your local, Instagram type stuff, Facebook type stuff, wherever you, Twitter maybe even, wherever you would announce anything else. We'll have it out there. There it is.
There it is.
That's the official schedule.
That looks a lot better than that other.
It really does. It's so much easier on the eyes, isn't it? The black.
The other one was kind of retro, but it was taking my eyes all over the place.
I agree totally. Yeah, it was confusing, visually confusing.
It didn't even say what we were selling on the thing. Like
there was some dude on there looked like Max.
Here's your schedule, and then I saw.
What is it?
I saw in the Whatnot for Resellers group, somebody I think Nick posted that pink schedule, and everybody was like, "What are you guys selling?"
Right.
Like,
great point. Kelly with a fantastic question. Ben, you could actually speak to this if you don't mind. I think it was your idea. We're gonna be handing off, right? We're gonna have the individual that precedes the next show announced, sort of. Go ahead.
This was not my idea.
Oh, I thought it was. Okay.
It wasn't. This came. So John again with his communication with Whatnot, they put him in touch with the person who ran the estate extravaganza, and they took like the last 5 or 10 minutes of each show to introduce the next seller. So if I'm on at noon, whoever's on at 1 will come into my show 10 minutes before the end. I'll bring them on as a co-host, talk about what they're going to sell, and then they'll go set up for their show. I'll end my show, and then I'll say, "Hey, everybody, go check out so and so," and then everybody will pile into that. So, and then after that, if I'm at noon and whoever's at 1, after I end my show, I will go to the 1 o'clock show and be the moderator for that show.
Excellent.
And all the sellers will follow. I'm also on Saturday, Luke. I'm going to be modding your show for you since you're the first one. There's nobody coming in, so I'll moderate for your first show, and then I'm the first show on Sunday, and I think John's going to do mine. And if he can't, then I may just run without one or ask for a volunteer or something. So,
I got a technical question. If
Sure.
I'm a moderator in the next show, can I still buy?
Yes.
I believe so.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Does your credit card work?
Yeah.
Always. The wife pays it. I just thought I think Whatnot is so new to me. After 2 months, whatever, I still there's all these questions. And there's crap out there on YouTube and written stuff.
Yeah.
We need to get some good stuff out there.
Does anybody else learn from using Whatnot that your credit card company doesn't like a bunch of like $1.98 charges? 27 $2 charges in the span of 2 minutes. That's
Yeah, get a security alert and stuff. I think it was hacked. The card was hacked or something.
Mine just says low. Put more funds in.
That's not a bad idea, Travis, to put a graphic up there like as one of your inventory items and say, "Hey, coming up next is."
Yeah.
And then you could put that up. That's a good idea.
Travis Group.
Travis is a good guy.
It's the next show up. He's got to get
Join
back
Travis and I, by the way, Monday night at 7 o'clock in the Jimmy Flip It Chat Show. Travis will be back on Monday.
Then you can pin that as your last item. So
Yeah, exactly. Cool idea, right? See, Travis?
Are we wanting to introduce them into our show? The next person, like what do y'all call it? The
Co-host.
co-host.
Right? Yeah, I think that's what Ben was saying. Maybe like the last 5 or 10 minutes or whatever of your show, you'll bring somebody in as a co-host.
Well, I guess I'm not really listening then. I'm sorry, Ben.
No.
And if anybody needs to figure out how to do the co-host, it's easy. But just jump in the Instagram chat. Just ask somebody to, create a quick show. I know I saw some people doing that earlier, and but it's literally you right click or click on their name, and then one of the options is to add them as a co-host.
You have to do it from the app, though. You can't do it from the desktop. So you have to click on their name from the app, and then it'll bring up the option to co-host. You just click on co-host. It'll say, are you sure you want to send an invite? You click yes, and then it pops up on their end and says, do you want to become a co-host? They accept, and then it'll bring you in. It'll split the screens in two, and it'll bring them on the bottom, co-host on the bottom, regular host on the top, and good to go.
Yeah, and Ben successfully tested that functionality earlier today. I actually watched that. Very good. Hey, Rootin, what's going on, man? Rootin for Relics is on.
Steve's got a question. He says he knows he's been in there too long when he gets too many emails and whatnot. Last night I was on one of the auctions, and I actually watched it. I bought something and I won, and my phone dinged right about the same time the seller said thank you. That's how fast they took the money out of that account.
Oh, I know. It's amazing.
Well, I was doing my my QuickBooks, and I sorted Whatnot, and that was not a good idea. It was like, oh God, what have I been doing?
Yeah. What you sold, take the fees out, take their cost of goods out, and that's.
I know, but it was just really eye opening to see how much I really had spent. Because $5 here, $10 there. Before you know it, you're $2,000 in the hole with.
I had to put a hard stop on my buying for a while. It was getting out of control.
Yeah. Just a friend of mine wants to know this, but does anybody else have a problem with you've got a stack of Whatnot boxes that you haven't opened yet?
I don't have that problem.
Friend wants to know.
Steve, Kelly.
Hello.
Yeah, I'm going to auction off the box without opening it at the next.
Yeah, let's auction off unopened Whatnot.
Slap your label on top, yeah.
Thank you, Travis. Yeah, if you wouldn't mind, folks, give a thumbs up, please, if you're enjoying the content tonight. And please do subscribe to all these fine folks. I have links down below for everybody, except there's one exception, Danica, because you just came on the show.
It's
so if you
okay.
want to,
I don't need a link. I don't need a link. It's a pleasure to meet all you guys, and I'm really looking forward to this paper.
Put it in the chat.
Yeah, we could throw it in the chat for you though, Danica. It's not a problem at all. If you send it to me in Instagram, and I'll put it in.
I actually had posted in there. It's cool.
Okay.
It's cool.
Cool.
I'll be seeing y'all around.
Absolutely. But yeah, please do subscribe to everybody if you're not subscribed, and feel free to leave some thumbs up. We're at 9 o'clock here on the East, so I put it out to the group. I'm legendary for doing 4 or 5 hour chat shows, so I'm just warming up. But I don't know how you guys are feeling. I know Paperboy's exhausted.
Yeah, we got to bail in a moment.
So just let me know if anybody has to bail. That's fine. If anybody wants to hang out for a bit, that's fine too. Just let me know.
Yeah,
I'm just gonna see if there's any coffee in the kitchen.
Yeah, there you go. Okay.
For a minute, I'll be right back. So.
All right, cool.
I gotta bail. I gotta feed some puppies. So
thanks so much for coming in, Lindley, and good
All
luck
right.
on this weekend.
It's nice putting a face with the names with you guys.
Yep. You
Appreciate it.
Take care. Bye-bye.
I'm going to get out of here too, Marty. I want to thank everybody for having me. It's a lot of fun. I know I'm going to have a couple of questions about the handing it off and co-hosting and all that stuff, but I'll save it for the chat.
Yep.
And I want to thank everybody. Thank you for having me.
Pleasure.
Do come by noon on Sunday for Paper Going. 27 lots, all cataloged. Subscribe to the $1 Million Peddlers.
Please
mind
do.
if I do a couple more quick little shills here?
No.
Whatnot, every Tuesday, $3 ephemera. Auctions take about an hour and a half. I have $5 comic auctions on every Thursday. It takes about an hour, so stop on by. try to keep everything moving along really, really good. And check out the $1 Million Peddlers on YouTube. And
Awesome.
we will see you. Thank you, everybody.
Great to see you. Thank you.
You
Bye,
did.
bye, Bree, bye, Luke, bye, Andrew, bye, Mark.
Bye, nice to meet you.
Hey, Angela. Danica, you want to say, did I just get rid of her by accident? Hold on.
Yeah, you did. You booted her.
No, I think she left. She
She
left.
Oh, okay.
said in the private chat, she had
I was just going to, I know. And I was just going to say, you want to sign off? And but she was gone. Oh, well. Good night, Danica. Thank you for joining. Ben, did you say you had to skedaddle too?
I don't have to by any means.
All right, cool. It's totally up to the group. You guys have any more questions out there? Anything else you'd like to talk about? It's all about Paperpalooza.
We should show more stuff.
I am going to.
Yeah, you can show more stuff. Absolutely. I'm sorry, what's that, Ben?
I'm going to step away for a minute. I'll be
Yeah,
right
no
back.
problem, man. And then there were 4. It's funny. Any other show, this would look like a monster. Like 4 people. Oh my goodness! Now it's like it seems
I
like
can handle this. This is no.
Yeah.
big to me.
Do you have time to hang out, Mark, for a little bit or no?
Yeah, I got a little bit of time.
Cool. Andrew, you're good. You just poured a fresh pot of coffee. You guys are good.
From the morning, I had it.
Awesome. Oh, really? You heated it up?
I like cold coffee, actually.
Oh, do you?
Yeah.
I like iced coffee.
Yeah, yeah. I like
Travis with an incredibly bizarre ref. What is this? Marty likes to wield. Does anybody know what that means? Or am I just really stupid? Majolnir boot stick. Please
Is that
explain,
right?
Travis.
Is that a
Educate
compliment?
us.
I think that's.
I don't know. It better be.
I would say boot stick. Whatever that is.
Yeah, we don't need a 5-hour show, Kelly. That was ridiculous. A couple of weeks ago, maybe a week ago on a Friday, it was a listing show. I do listing shows on Friday. And we literally went 4 hours and 48 minutes. And it went so fast. It's crazy. Everybody was just, conversation was going. We were listing things together. And the time kind of escaped me. It was unbelievable. Thor's Hammer. There we go. Rootin chiming in. I had no idea. He just taught me. How does one pronounce that? Anybody know?
Mjolnir, I think.
Andrew, I was going to say, come on, Andrew, you got to know this.
I think it's Mjolnir.
So the J is silent?
Yeah, I think so.
Cool.
I'm not sure, but I'm pretty sure.
No, not at all. Man.
Luke, how are you doing?
I'm good.
Your first time, and Bree?
Yeah, you like it? You comfortable? I hope you're
Yeah.
comfortable.
Yeah, it's fun.
Getting comfortable now.
Good. Yeah, you're getting in the groove now, right?
Yeah.
And Andrew, we watched your video the other day.
Oh, nice. Our first YouTube experience. Yeah, that was fun.
Welcome back, Stuart. He's ready for round 2. Got your coffee? What you do? There you go. Cheers. Beautiful. Coffee schmorfy. He's got the real stuff there. Yeah, guys. So in the chat, if anybody has any more questions, if anybody wants to see anything, if you guys want to tease any more items, feel free. That you're going to be showing off this weekend. If you just want to sit there and look at the camera, go ahead. Doesn't matter.
Maybe everyone in the chat could tell us what you're interested in.
Yeah, I think we sort of did that early, but absolutely. Might be some new people in here. Yeah, what do you guys, other than postcards, no like anything but postcards, no.
Or one of these. You can't find these. There's
See,
only
that's
2 million out of them.
That's right.
Oh, thanks, Memphis.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, please do, folks, if you wouldn't mind subscribing to everybody here. Really appreciate it. I know we all would. Obviously, everybody here is passionate about reselling in general, and certainly with ephemera, this big event. But I know a lot of these guys don't just sell ephemera. Is that true? Do any of you guys sell other stuff other than ephemera? I know Andrew certainly does.
So
on Monday nights, we sell glass and collectibles.
Cool.
Yeah.
So Marty, before this,
He's
I
got
had
awesome stuff. I mean, I've watched his collectible shows, and he's got some great stuff.
Very cool. What was that, Mark? I'm sorry.
Before, reselling before, I did action figures, toys, and I had over 5,000-6,000 listings on eBay and stuff. And then I had the postcards. Well, that wasn't working well in the toy store, so I created a postcard anchor store I had for years and the toys. And then I decided with all the lockdown and the shipping problems, I couldn't get it from my distributor anymore. I couldn't find them. And so I kind of just last May, or not this May, but May before, I downsized everything. to about 300 listings and sold off my toys. Now I just do it's about 600 quantity, 170 listing on toys, action figures.
Awesome.
So doing this is better than doing this, wrapping this.
For sure.
You
That's
know,
an awesome. That's an awesome item. The
this is,
shuttlecraft.
Yeah, the Goodard.
The real
And
stuff.
you know what's neat about him?
I'll
He's
ship
not
it
in.
for you, Mark.
He's not in this one. My other one has.
Has a guy in there?
And then it's got the back in there. Check that out.
Very cool.
I got the box for this guy too. Oh, broke it. Oh, it just fits in there.
Yeah, if I could turn my camera and see my inventory shelves, I'm really, I would not consider myself primarily ephemera, but I've got a lot. But my wife calls me the China King of Knoxville because that's kind of my specialty on the other marketplaces. Is not a lot of people want to deal with China, so you can get it so cheap at auctions, and I piece it all out and do really well with it. But
that's great. Was there a big learning curve for you to learn about that, like the brand, the marks, and all that stuff? That's one of my trepidations about getting into that stuff. Is like I don't know what I'm looking for.
I mean, I'm sure there was. I've been doing it so long now. I don't. Really
You forgot.
With Google and replacements.com is great for identifying China and silverware patterns because I sell a lot of like flatware too. But yeah, really hard goods. Hard goods is probably. I have 850 things listed. Across the other marketplaces that I sell on. And so.
Cool. Welcome back, Ben.
I bought this
Thank
from.
you. I need refreshments.
Sure.
So here's the cool one. The Galileo from Star Trek. And it's got the original Kirk in there.
Wow, that is cool.
And it's got all the different things on there.
Yeah.
Are we showing off all our collectibles?
I was gonna say if you wanted to, yeah, seriously, if you want to show some more stuff off, go ahead, knock your stuff out.
Yeah. That's about the only thing.
It's all about entertainment, Ben.
I got like 30,000 postcards. You want me to go through those?
Yeah, one at a time.
Front and back.
Front and back.
Time.
Stamp.
Discuss every detail. This is a flower. This is a house.
Oh, don't do flowers.
Don't do flowers.
Flowers, no. I got it written down everywhere. No flowers. Didn't do well. Or beavers or animals.
Welcome back, Andrew.
Oh yeah. I didn't mean to do all caps. I bought this from Luke last week.
Oh yeah.
Royal Worcester cup. Yeah.
Cool.
Oh whoops. Yeah, it was really beautiful. I like Royal Worcester a lot.
Weta likes to do research when she buys stuff. That's kind of cool.
Yeah, if we're showing Whatnot finds, this is my favorite thing that I found on Whatnot so far. It's this animal skin that's painted with this really cool design.
Oh my god!
Wow.
You bought that, or did you sell it?
I bought it. I think I paid $3 for it.
Holy cow!
I haven't even really had time to research it yet, but the painting on there is incredible. I think it's pretty old. So, yeah.
What kind of animal skin?
I'm really not even sure. It's some kind of leather, so a small animal. But yeah, that's my favorite thing. I didn't even decide if I'm gonna sell it yet. I may.
It's really.
Right now, I kind of got it hanging in the office. I'll probably eventually sell it, but it's just
armadillo art.
So I just never seen anything like it. So there's some really unique stuff out there you can find.
That's almost as scarce as Mark's coffee cup. That's right up there, right?
Yeah,
that's close.
Just,
It's a
perfect name centered.
I see. That's incredible. Oh, that really is cool, though. Holy cow! Still kicking yourself about the billheads. I threw them out when I was going through my parents' stuff. Oh, yeah. I think we've all fallen prey to that at one point or other in our lives, like getting rid of stuff that we wish we didn't get rid of, maybe years and years ago before we got into this game. And man, if I didn't get rid of this, what would people, my generation, we talk about Star Trek and all that stuff. Like the toys that I grew up with are probably worth a fortune now, and I obviously had no idea at the time that they would be.
Mm-hmm. Just think if your parents would have had the foresight to buy you a G.I. Joe and then buy another one and leave it in the
Right,
closet.
keep it in a
You know,
yeah. No, it wasn't a thing.
I had all the big tall GI Joes with the real beards,
Real hair, yeah, sure.
So,
Kung Fu Grip. Yeah.
you know,
Remember the Kung Fu Grip?
We really abused those things, that's for sure. So.
Yeah, they were loved. That's for sure. They were played with.
There was a question in the chat. A lady asked, why don't animals sell? I don't know. Why didn't flowers sell? I put them in an auction, 25
Right.
animal cards, $1. These were nice animals too. They needed a home.
I pulled that newspaper, the one that Calamity bought. That
yeah.
I pulled that. I just had like a big lot of ephemera, and I didn't know it was in there. And like in the show, pulled it, and we auctioned it. But yeah, that was fun. I think that's one of the really fun things about Whatnot. Is like I'm discovering things with other people, and
yeah,
and yeah.
Does anybody know about on eBay, Stuart? Maybe like the animal skin, of unknown origin. Is that ever an issue selling that kind of stuff on eBay?
Is it
like I know,
bone?
like, huh?
I mean, I'm not.
Yeah,
sure
like
about this. I'm not sure about the animal skin like that. I don't know that it would be an issue. I mean, you do have to be careful with eating anything that's bone that make They're real funny about that because if it might be ivory or a bone from an animal that's endangered.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was curious about the skins. I just don't know about the skins. I was curious.
Yeah, I mean, if I sell that, it'll probably go to my antique booth anyway, or one of my antique booths because it looks so cool. It'll look really good there. So anything to draw people in.
It does look awesome. That's fun.
I picked these up. I picked up a whole bunch of these Zeppelin. They're German postcards.
Baroness von Zeppelin.
From the World War thing on there. Now, what do you think this postcard's worth? It's a newer card.
Ben would know that. He did video games.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, Sega card. It's maybe $20.
10 to 15.
Yeah.
Did that come with the system or something, or was it just a card that you could buy?
It's probably a promotional card would be my guess. Is it an actual postcard?
Yeah, it's a card you send
really?
or something.
Yeah.
I found it in a lot of cards. I'm going to use it as a giveaway in the show. Here's some other Seinfeld.
Mm-hmm.
This is Pacific Bell. Beat 40. That's what I used to be in the telecommunications.
Oh, okay.
There's another one. They're in sleeves, so it's hard to see. And then I found this one in a lot. Woody Woodpecker, 1982, the year I graduated.
I just sold a bunch of those in a Whatnot auction.
Did you really?
Mm-hmm. They were on Disney.
This is going to be called the Little Pecker auction.
Is that the Dufex? Is that one of those Dufex prints? That's what it looks like.
It's like a foil back.
Yeah. Everybody went like this.
It's got like the
That's
foil.
what you do.
That's what you do.
And it does have some imperfections on it, but that's just some of the storage. But you call it out. But that's like that.
Thanks for coming in, Neil. Sorry, I forgot to.
So you can find when you buy lots of ephemera and stuff. I tell people you can find one item in there that'll pay for a whole darn lot.
Oh, without question.
Yeah.
Yep.
So.
Oh yeah, my coolest ephemera find is I bought this whole stack of just handwritten letters, and most of them were real mundane from the 1900s. But there was one Civil War letter that a soldier had written to his wife.
Oh.
And I mean, I put that thing on eBay on an auction. It ended up selling for like $190.
Oh yeah.
But it was like 6 pages long, and then it was on like a train station letterhead from it was weird. It was train station letterhead from a train station in Pennsylvania. The guy who wrote it was from a Massachusetts regiment, and he wrote it while he was in Clarksville, Tennessee. So he had all different areas of the country represented.
And different groups of collectors. You got trained people, you got Civil War people. You know what I mean? That's fantastic. It's like a trifecta there. Steve. That's what I always try to do. That like when at all possible, you try to appeal to multiple groups, not just one collection group. You know what I mean? Like if you have something like that where there's a train and there's a baby and there's a dog and there's a, you're gonna appeal to all those different groups potentially with one listing.
Yeah, Steve, the yellow button is right to the right. But go to your bank screen first. Make sure your card's loaded. Then hit that. Right. But it only works if you hit it about a dozen times.
Oops.
So on the piggybacking on that one sheet that he found.
Yeah,
I had another reseller reach out in the Cincinnati area. This was probably 6 months ago, and I still haven't gotten around to listen to any of this stuff. But he's like, I got a box full of letters and stuff, and I was like, okay, well, let's take a look at it. And so I started thumbing through it, and it was nothing crazy, just a bunch of letters and like old stuff from like the turn of the century, but nothing wild.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, he's like, I don't know what to do with this. And I was like, well, I'm not going to sit here and thumb through it all. I'll give you $40 for the whole box. It was like a paper box full. And he was like, sure. And I said, if I find anything crazy, I'll give you a cut of it. Well, this was in there. And this is, I'll just show it on camera here. It might be hard.
Constitution.
Yeah, it's the Constitution.
We the people.
Yeah. It's a, let's see. Now, it's been so long since I looked at it. It's the appointment of by the here. I'll put it back up so that you put me on full screen.
Yep. I probably should have done that all along. Sorry about that.
It's an appointment by the governor of Georgia. It's signed twice by the governor of Georgia for a James Fletcher to captain of the 277th District Company of the state militia, and it's from 1811.
Wow.
April 24th, 1811. It was just buried. This box was full of a bunch of stuff that this woman had been gathering all these family documents and stuff, I think, to try to get into the Daughters of the American Revolution. And it's just like a slew of all this old matter, like from turn of the century, but there were a couple of older pieces in there, and that was in there, and I still haven't decided what I'm going to do with it yet. So, but yeah, that was pretty cool.
That is cool.
Paperpalooza.
Was that on
Paperpalooza?
Vellum? Was that actually on paper, Ben, or was it on like vellum or something?
Is it on animal skin?
It's on animal skin.
A nondescript animal skin?
Yeah. Yeah, I can't really tell. I wouldn't be able to tell the difference between vellum.
I mean, vellum actually is made from animal skin, so it's like paper, but it's just like fiber. It's kind of fibrous, and
This is
a lot of, like, you see a lot of legal deeds and stuff from the 1800s written on those. But
cool.
Yeah,
that's cool. That survived that long in that good a shape.
Really good shape. Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy. I was shocked when I opened it, and I was like, "Oh my god!"
Anybody else want to? Andrew, you got anything to show off?
I can.
No pressure. Yeah, go grab something.
All right.
Luke,
I mean, I
great.
showed off a lot of good stuff for the already, but let me see.
Yeah, no, just
right.
Luke, where you got anything?
Getting some background music for us.
Popeye sent me this when I bought some of his cards. This got fur on it.
Oh, that's cool. Hold on. It's like a polar bear or something.
I'm trying to do my finger in the camera. It's kind of like, yeah, polar bear, but it's in like no snow.
He's like in the jungle. That's kind of weird.
And this is what they call an undivided back.
Yep.
But I got a little mark there, but I can't tell when it was posted. But he just sent it to me for nothing and on there, which is pretty neat.
Yeah, it's like a novelty. That's really cool.
Yeah, I'm big into novelty postcards, the weird
Yeah.
stuff. I got
Very
a
cool.
whole bunch of stuff that I bring out once in a while.
Very cool.
I got over 100 videos on different types of postcards. And I got all of 2023 topics and stuff for my videos already done, just from people sending me stuff or asking me. And I got all my videos up to October 5th are done now too.
Wow, excellent.
So I try to batch them, and we're going on vacation. We're driving 1,400 miles looking for postcards. We're driving to Brimfield, Massachusetts.
Yeah.
And then we're going to drive home the back roads and stay in different places and looking for stuff in town, sightsee, and postcards.
Cool.
We leave. My father-in-law's staying at the house. He goes, "When are you going to be home?" I don't know. We're both retired, so.
Yeah. You going to take footage on the road of your
Yeah.
stops and stuff? Yeah.
Yep.
Very cool.
And the wife's going to drive too, so I'll be able to get some
Nice.
backseat driver or back of her head.
There you go.
So where's everybody from who's on the
There you go. That's a good question. I probably should have started with that. That was
Chicago. So I'm 55 miles south of Chicago, born and raised here.
Very cool.
We're in
Stuart?
Massachusetts.
Massachusetts. Stewart's in Tennessee, right? You said Tennessee, Stuart?
I'm in Knoxville, Tennessee, so in
Knoxville,
the eastern part of the state.
Cool. Beautiful country.
I'll be driving through your town next weekend on my way to Charleston, South Carolina.
Nice.
That's another awesome town. That's my daughter's getting married in Charleston next year. So
I'm going down for a wedding.
Uh-oh. Whoa.
Oh,
Uh-oh. Congratulations. That's awesome.
Not my wedding.
No, I was going to say, what's going on with that? Andrew, where are you?
oh, we're in Boston.
Oh, cool. A couple of Massachusetts. Very cool.
I'm in Cincinnati.
This is Cincinnati.
Yeah, I'm actually outside Cincinnati. It's technically Claremont County, so it's on the east side of Cincinnati, outside the loop, interstate loop.
Very cool.
yeah, holler at me on your way through or on your way. I'm right off the interstate. So
Okay.
Yeah, I was going to meet up with the Pittsburgh Picture. Adam and Sarah, them usually on their shows a lot, and know them, and we're gonna, with their schedule, it didn't. Our people couldn't get us together.
What's up, Jeff? Yes, as Dawn said, better late than never. Jeff, a regular here in the chat, so he's used to these marathon sessions.
Nice.
Jeff, I highly suggest unless you were watching and just saying hi now, definitely rewind this when we're done. We had 8 guests on tonight. It's a great time talking about Paperpalooza coming up this weekend. Jeff picked up a bunch of ads from me in one of my first Whatnot, so I'm eternally grateful to Jeff. He's good people.
Yeah, the first for me, the first buyers
you remember them? They're gold, right?
Yeah, it's just you're
Jeff.
so
Yeah, absolutely. What do you got, Andrew? You got something?
Yeah, I can show some of the other stuff.
Yeah, man, full screen. This way everybody else can stretch and yawn and do that.
So I showed some of the things that were going to be in the Paperpalooza. I think we're going to put this leather postcard in the Paperpalooza too.
Mm-hmm.
I just noticed that your T-shirt is letterhead.
Oh yeah,
that's awesome.
With a train, that is wild. Yeah, look at that.
Yeah, this is. I actually have this billhead. I made the T-shirt. It's like
cool.
That's cool.
I like to design T-shirts with the ephemera because it's nice to use it in different ways.
See, that's a video right there. People love that stuff.
Yep.
Yeah.
They eat it up.
We should make some videos about that.
I was gonna wear a postcard dress or something.
I'll bring another T-shirt that's like more intricate design, like to show you, like adding different pieces of ephemera together. Let's see, this one. I really don't know much about. I was trying to find out about it. I don't know if anyone here knows about it, but it's the Great Central Route Blue Line, and it's from the Atlantic to the Pacific Ocean without change of cars.
Wow.
By arrangement between the following railroad companies, and it's lists all the different railroad companies that were in collaboration to create this one car route across it's from the 1870s. It's 18187, so 1870s. But I couldn't find anything about this blue line, or what it was. So yeah, I don't know if anyone else knows about that, but I couldn't find anything about the blue line. I thought it was really interesting, like the first continuous car across the country.
Absolutely. Very cool.
This is like.
I knew Weta would like that. Weta just said she loves railroad and timetables and all that stuff, so I think you have a buy already.
Well, I wanted to find out about it first, but I do want to
sell it.
Yeah, I do. I mean, eventually.
Yeah.
And then this is the first one I've ever had of this. It said, what does it say? The Coma album, Familiar Faces. So they're transfer pictures from the Antique Camnia Chemical Company out of St. Louis. So I guess it's like these are like transfer pictures that you're supposed to get wet and then transfer.
Oh wow, yeah.
That one's pretty cool. Yeah.
Are they like those tattoo kids get on their arms?
Yeah, yes.
Cracker Jack.
Yeah.
So it's Cracker Jack.
It's pretty cool for
Those
these.
are awesome.
For this.
And they're not ripped. It's all continuous. That's amazing.
How old is that?
Yeah, exactly. The kind of stuff that survives.
It's amazing, isn't it?
How old is that?
Looked it up. It seems like it's an antique for sure. I don't know.
There's a white with sponge postcards that have invisible ink, and it was made out of fruits and vegetable or type things. And when it got wet, it would turn brown or whatever. They also have hold it heat. on theirs. I wonder if that's got anything to do with that, how they did it.
I don't. Yeah, I want to see if I need to look it up. I haven't looked it up yet.
You
And
could
then
do a whole show on stuff like this. I
Without
mean,
question, man.
This
they go
is,
nuts.
Yeah, the old calendars are awesome.
and it's completely filled inside. Like it hasn't really been touched. It's like
Oh, that was just the envelope. Oh, that's really
that's
good.
the
Yeah,
envelope. So it
yeah,
has
yeah.
a calendar inside, and then it also has the everything that came with the junk mail.
Oh yeah,
And then
yeah.
also the little booklet.
Sure. That would each
was
one of those pieces would sell themselves.
Yeah, I was gonna put this in the Paperpalooza as well. It's like I actually have two of them. They're like they were together, completely complete, like in the envelope.
Yeah. Andrew, without revealing, specific sources, what kind of places do you like to source in? Like just in general, like antique malls? Like what do you hit to get this kind of cool stuff?
I usually like to buy like big lots.
Uh-huh.
And I mean, anyone can find, I guess, big lots, but it's kind of like, I mean, I've bought in storage units before.
Mm-hmm.
I don't usually do that, but like, I would say the technique that I use is like, when it comes to big lots or storage units, like it's partly a gamble,
Right.
but you look for certain identifications, like identifying things. Like for instance, like I just bought a lot of jewelry, and I saw like antique jewelry pieces in there, like mixed in.
Yep.
So I know, okay, there's going to be like antique jewelry in here. There's also possibility for that increases the possibility that there's some antique gold jewelry that like gets missed, because it's not mine. And so, yeah, I don't know. I try to buy lots. I just try to keep my options open. And I would say you just keep searching and keep trying to find new methods, like local auctions that don't ship, that you have to be local are good, because you're not competing with the whole internet where they can ship it anywhere.
Right.
And yeah, and just making friends like with other sellers, like other people, kind of like Ben, he found that great piece because he had a connection with other sellers. I mean, I certainly get, like right now I have like 300, 400 vintage pieces of clothing, and they were in a storage unit, and they have like a little, they were there for like decades, so they have a little mildew, meaning they need to be cleaned in a specific way.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just something that I can't take on. So if someone was around here and wanted those, I'd be happy to give them to them, or for $1 each or something like that. And so I would say that too, like networking, making friends with other people, just being nice and helping others out, but it's like a ongoing process, and you make more connections, and through family and friends, stuff like that too.
Yeah, without question.
So big, I don't know.
No, you're right. You're absolutely right. It's all about, as Kelly just wrote, networking is crucial.
Yeah, sometimes take a gamble, and the way I look at it is like, if I can keep, even if some gambles I lose, like if I can keep finding really interesting pieces, then people will, know that I'm willing to take that risk in a way for them, or like to find cool stuff, and they appreciate that.
Yep, unique.
Hey, Marty. I'm gonna be leaving here in a second.
Okay, man. Hang on.
He wants to say goodbye.
Hold on.
This is Sal. Was Sally, but whoa, get over here. Over on this finger. See his ring around his neck? That makes him a boy. Quit pinching me.
Yeah.
Ouch. And he's about 40 years old now, over 35.
Wow.
But the Whatnot Paperpalooza, part of it goes to him, because look at that belly.
You got to feed that. He's a grown boy. Got to feed
he's
him.
Got new feathers in and stuff, so he wants to go to bed. He's already telling me. He down here in the office, he stays with me during the day and stuff, and then we go upstairs, and then he goes to bed upstairs. Come on.
Good night, Sal.
All right. Thanks, everybody.
Thanks for joining, Mark. It's a pleasure.
See you, Mark.
Yep. Take care.
No, I can't do this left-handed up here. Okay. Thanks.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
All righty. And then there were, how many we got? 5. All right.
I'll grab another t-shirt. I'll be right back.
Yeah, Mystiques, you guys got anything you want to show off?
I think accessible. We just have some of the trade cards right now.
Yeah,
We
show
do
'em off.
collect a lot of the local stuff, so most of these are from the Boston area. Like this one's a cigar company from Boston. No, it's hard to see in the holders.
Mm-hmm.
A tea company from Cambridge.
This one's from Salem, Mass. Daniel Lowe.
Yeah.
Yeah, quite a few. Another Salem one.
It's always hot, but it's got to be really hot right now, right? We're getting into Halloween craze time.
Yeah.
If you were, it'd be interesting to hear opinions based on sellers and buyers. If you were buying or selling these lots, would you prefer like lots of 10? Would you like individually or like 20 per lot?
I guess it would depend on how unique each piece was. Like if you have, like if you could, I mean, it's just me thinking as a buyer. If you had like items, like if you had like 10 Salem cards, maybe put the 10 Salems together. You know what I mean? And then keep some other, like if you could find like products, I would lot them together. But if you have really unique pieces, I would do one-offs. I mean, it depends, you know?
Yeah.
If anybody else disagrees, feel free. Just my thought.
On the seller side, I did a trade card show and did all choice. So
Oh, yeah.
I put nine trade cards out on the table, and I did a pick three. So the winning bidder would pick 3 cards off the table. And what was interesting was, and I knew it would happen, I had a set of Singer sewing machine cards. There were like 5 or 6 of them from different countries. And I knew if I put those out separately, that someone would buy 2 of them because they saw the set of 2 on the board.
Yeah.
Those 2, and then they'd see 2 more come up, and it would drive up bids. So I didn't put them all out on the board at once. I feathered them out so that, you know, people got them in their hands and then wanted, oh, there's more of those, so I'll bid on those. And
right.
See something, and it creates artificial competition too. Doing a choice, I've been doing fairly well when I do choice auctions. So.
Very
cool. Especially people feel like they're getting a deal too, and they get to pick take the third of the board off. You know,
Yeah.
Off the board instead of just picking one. So
that's a good strategy, and thanks for sharing it with everybody.
So Ben, when you did that way, on average, how much were you getting per card? I know it depends on the card, but
yeah, I mean it depends. I think in that auction, I think probably the best I did was $15.
Oh, wow.
So $5 a card. I think most of them probably hovered in the $5 to $8 range for 3 cards. But they were also all cards that, I mean, I looked up comps on eBay for all these before I put them up for auction. They were all, you know, sub $10 cards, so I wasn't upset with getting $5 a piece for some of them. So again, it's all about setting expectations. You know, I wasn't putting up like I've got like a baseball one that's I'm getting ready to put it up there. I'm like, I'm not going to put that one up unless I do a high-end trade card lot or a high-end trade card auction and set higher starting bids and all that. So, yeah. I when it comes to like postcards to a certain extent, especially trade cards, other pieces of ephemera that I'm putting up on Whatnot, I'm almost always comping everything out if I don't know that it's not a very high value card, because most people are buying lots and they want to buy lots, you know.
Yeah.
So I thought I had that card sitting here. Oh yeah, here it is. It's a Western and Southern Life Insurance Cincinnati, Ohio card. It's got a little baseball player on it.
Oh, that's cool.
Oh, yeah.
In the back. So I mean that's I would imagine that card would sell for at least $20, 15 to 20. And I looked it up, and there aren't many of that card either, so that one's not going to go on Whatnot. But I do have plenty of other good cards going up on Sunday morning at 11 a.m.
Right. What's that event called again? Paperpalooza.
And I also have these sitting next to me, which I got from Bastides.
Hang on. Got to go full screen for this one.
They're tobacco cards from New Zealand, but they're all real photos. Oh, There we go. All real photo tobacco cards. It's a beautiful New Zealand on the back.
Wow.
And I was trying to hunt down. I have like 7 of these that are missing out of the full set, and I was just going to try to complete the full set on eBay, but I can't find them. Can't find the ones that I need. So I got all kinds of cool stuff laying around me. My workspace is a pigsty.
All right. Susan has a question. I assume it's for the whole group. How do you figure prices? Do you mean with Whatnot auctions, Susan? Do you mean eBay? Do you mean in general? Like, anybody can take a stab at that, but I'm just curious. Does she mean strictly for Whatnot? Like your starting bid? Are you talking about? Are you talking about if we were listing them on eBay or Etsy?
So like for instance, when I did a
both in general.
Well, for Whatnot, it's usually when I'm putting stuff up, I'm just putting it up for auction because it's stuff that I want to blow out. Right. But in the instance of, let's say, like a higher end postcard auction, some cards I just have, or some pieces I just have a general idea of what I could probably get for them on eBay. Others I'll look up, and if I don't have much into it, I'll say, okay, I think for the postcard auction, I was like, I'll take 50% of what I can get, or that's where I'm going to start my bids at, is 50% of what I think I could get on eBay, or what I would list it for on eBay. But I mean, it's eBay comps. It's a combination of eBay comps and do I really want to deal with this piece or not, or these pieces.
Yes.
Like if I buy something cheap enough, I might be willing to blow it out and get some cash back in my pocket to go buy something else instead of waiting around on eBay. So throw it up on Paperpalooza or Paperpalooza. Throw it up on Whatnot in a big lot and see what I get for it.
There you go. We got to start our own app now, Paperpalooza. Anybody else want to talk about pricing strategies in general? What you guys do? To answer Susan's question.
Learning about that, I guess. I mean, with ephemera, I'm less knowledgeable than, say, with like porcelain or china or things like that. So
lots of research, and
I mostly have just been selling. Well, actually, we haven't ever sold any ephemera on eBay. We've just been selling all of this on Whatnot. So
there you go.
Yeah. So we kind of just let the bidders decide. They definitely get some great deals with some of this stuff, but we're happy to, like, kind of put in our dues, so to speak, and see different pieces, learn about them. And
but like Ben said, let's say you're putting up some ephemera, even though you don't know much about it. Do you look for comps on eBay once in a while just to make sure you're not putting something up that's really valuable?
Like for the ephemera, kind of vaguely, yeah. Like I don't know, like I mean, for instance, that piece that I showed with all of like the transfers. I mean, like, I want to.
You're not going to find comps on that.
Yeah, right. You're not.
Like, you have with stuff like that, you just kind of have to take an educated guess if you're going to list it on eBay, because chances are, like, you might be able to find something on WorthPoint that's similar, something like that, but like those types of pieces, they just don't survive. It's like when you pulled that up, I was like, how did that survive that long, completely intact?
Right.
Like,
and that's what I'm saying. You don't want to give it away for $5 on Whatnot. You know what I mean? So I wouldn't. I'm just saying I wouldn't put that up.
I mean, like, I'll put it up on Whatnot if I know that there's at least like 3 bidders that will be like very interested in it. Like, they don't have to pay retail price, but if they're going to like be, at least understand the value of it, then I'll do that.
They'll fight over it. Yeah.
Yeah.
But maybe your starting bid is a little higher than traditionally. That $1-2 thing. Maybe you go 10. I don't know. I don't even know. I have no idea what that's worth. But
I have no idea.
I know.
But for something like that, like, I wouldn't say I'm necessarily looking for comps, but like, I mean, I just don't even know much about it. Like, I want to research it. Like,
So yeah, and I was about to say, I'm fairly conservative when it comes to stuff that I don't know about, like that stuff that you have, there's no way I'd try to sell it before I did research on it. And usually, honestly, a lot of that stuff ends up in a pile for a wait until I get to it or when I have time type
Which
of
never
pile.
happens. Yeah.
Right. So like, because I have so much other stuff that I know what the value of it is, so I know I can list it quickly. I know that I can put it in lots together and put it on Whatnot. I know what to do with it. I know approximate values. But like when I get some oddball thing, I'm like, I don't know about this. I'm not immediately seeing it on eBay, not seeing anything similar on WorthPoint. I'm going to tuck that away and wait until I have time to give it its. That's why I haven't put up that certificate yet. That appointment yet, just because I not quite to the point yet where I'm comfortable pricing it.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll wait. I don't mind waiting. I have $40 into the entire box, so what I might as well do it right.
Yep. Oh, absolutely true.
I mean, it also depends on, like, for instance, I recently sold. I had a big lot of letters from the 1850s, 1860s. They were from this guy William Henry Anderson, and he was like part of this crocodile club at Yale and some other. So he has like collections of his letters in libraries, and I ended up selling it in a whole lot to someone on Whatnot, BB's Trunk Vintage. I sold it fairly cheap as a lot, but I know that he's going to, do all of the work that it takes to get it into a either a museum or like the right hands, like it's a whole collection. And I'm happy to make less money on that because he's going to do that and like resell it that way, or so yeah, if it's like conserving the piece or putting it historically where it should be, I'm also happy to like make less or something.
I say that I'm conservative with things, but Luke stole a cabinet card from me in an auction one time that was, and I discovered it during the auction. I was like, okay, well, somebody's about to get a deal here. And of course, Luke stole it for like $2.
Swooped in.
I was like, you know what? I'm going to look this up on eBay. And sure enough, I looked it up and I was like, yeah, it's a $75 card. Congratulations.
Yeah, we had a brooch in a costume jewelry lot. We had a brooch. It was unmarked. It was only the designer. And like I was putting it aside to research it later, but Anna like threw it in during the auction, and someone got it for like that and one other brooch for like $10, and it was like a designer, I think 14 karat gold brooch that sells for like 700 or something like that. Yeah, but I mean, I tested it before I shipped it to her, and I said, "Oh, I tested it. It's actually gold, and like it's this thing." And congratulations. And I think that, in the long run, you do that, and like buyers will also realize that they can get certain things, like they can find great treasures in your auction. They'll be more inclined to come more often.
That's for sure.
So that's fine. Oh, you're muted. I can't hear.
Yeah, Stuart, you're muted.
Sorry about that. Yeah, I learned a long time ago, I never have seller's regret on anything I sell. I mean, I figure in the long run, I mean, I've made plenty of money on stuff I've bought, and I hit a lot of home runs. But I mean, especially ephemera right now, I'm pricing stuff more on what I have in it. I mean, and there's certain pieces I can tell they're special, like that Civil War letter that I might pull out. But for the most part, after the amount of time it'll take to spend me, if I average everything I'm selling, then I'm coming out way ahead. And if somebody gets a good deal, to what Andrew said, hey, they're going to come back and buy more stuff from you too. So you have to balance that. I mean, sure. If I sold something for $3 and I later learned it was worth, $20,000, yeah, I might have a little seller's regret then. But to be honest, most ephemera, even the coolest stuff, a couple of hundred maybe, and none of that's life-changing money. And when you start averaging stuff out, you're doing fine. So that's kind of how I price things, especially on the ephemera side right now.
Yeah, totally agreed.
Yeah, I don't sit and stew over stuff like the card that Luke bought for me for it was worth $75 that he bought for $2. No, that's fine.
No, right.
I don't ever harbor any.
No.
I don't get all bent out of shape.
All right, guys. Well, it is a 9:45. We've been on since what time did we come on? 7, right?
7 o'clock.
So this is a mere 2-hour 45. This is half a show for me, but I think I am going to. If it's all right with everybody else, I think we're gonna call it a night. Absolute pleasure having everybody. Thank you so much for joining me.
Did you answer See the Lights question just as the last question there that you have up? Does one not allow sellers to set a reserve price? They do not.
No, they don't. And I had that up on purpose. Yeah, no, they do not. I wish they did.
But you can start. You can start the bid.
You can start the bid at whatever.
Exactly.
You want, right?
Yeah.
You can set the starting bid, but not the. You can't set a reserve.
Right. Yeah, that is kind of cool when you can return things or something. That's a very good point. Makes you feel good.
Yeah.
Get over some. I just want to run through the chat really fast.
Steve. I agree, Steve. That's exactly mine too. Yep.
Like Stuart said, though, I mean, you come out in the long run, you're always going to come out way ahead. I mean, if you do your due diligence and you're good at this stuff, you're going to absolutely come out ahead.
Thank you very
much, Lori.
That's the thing with ephemera is like you can get it so cheaply that it's hard to make a mistake.
Yeah.
Really. I mean,
very true.
As long as you have a little bit of knowledge, it's hard to make a mistake. You're still going to make money. A loss is just not making as much money or letting.
Correct. Yeah.
So I mean, before we leave here, so what's the coolest thing everybody on the panel here sold? I mean, not necessarily the most expensive, just what's your most memorable sale as far as a cool item. I mean, I sold this. It was this like a Masonic tapestry that was made of all these different the little ribbons from the different Masonic lodges. And it went to somewhere in Washington, D.C. and was going to be displayed in a museum. I mean, it was a good sell for me, but just knowing that people were going to go look at this in a museum, kind of to what Andrew was talking about, that was just so cool. I thought that, it was going to be preserved, something that I found and sold to somebody.
Yeah.
That is cool. Anybody else have anything memorable?
Oil can. We sold an oil can, and when we went to ship it, it was addressed to the studio that produced Stranger Things. So when the new season came out, we kept looking for it, but didn't see it.
That is very cool too.
Mine was pretty early on when I first started dabbling in sort of ephemera and postcards and photos. I saw in an online auction there was a lot of photos, and one of the photos was it was a baseball player. And there were probably 80 or 100 photos in these things. And of course, being from Cincinnati, this guy had a C on his chest. I was like, oh, maybe it's an old Cincinnati Reds player. So I bought the lot, and I think I paid $50 for the lot or something. And there was some other decent stuff in there too. But I finally got the lot. I looked at the picture, and it had been taken out of an album. So there was black paper across the back. And I was like, man, this guy's in it like a stadium, like not just a guy. He's in a stadium. So I took an X-Acto knife and I scraped off for like an hour and a half all the black paper off because I could tear away some of it. I saw there was handwriting on the back. And I was like, there might be some identifiable information here. So I sat there with an X-Acto knife, scraped it all off. And so it turned out that was taken at the very first Reds stadium of a Chicago Cubs Hall of Famer by the name of Mordecai Three Finger Brown.
Oh, man.
And it was from like 1909. It said who the player was, where it was taken. And I sold that photo for within 6 or 8 hours for like $650.
Holy cow.
It was awesome. And it was a shot like from the stand. So it was a completely candid shot from the stands out into the field. And he was standing there facing the camera. And it was awesome. It was a really cool find. And especially because I actually put the time into like,
yeah.
Right away, it was just like, oh, what are we going to find?
Yeah.
Scratching a lottery ticket.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was cool.
Very cool.
I think I don't know. The coolest thing that I have is, I didn't sell yet, but maybe I really like the thing I sold last night. It was on Whatnot actually. It was I'm pretty sure it was from the 1820s, but it was like a poetry scrapbook, So it had like handwritten poetry in it, and then also like pasted in poetry and stuff like that. And it was like a really old with a lot of really nice handwriting and stuff. So I don't know. I really like that. But the piece that I haven't sold, and I don't think I will sell.
And guys, if you go to my Instagram, you can see what that image looked like. By the way, it's up on my Instagram.
Oh, I will definitely check that out.
You have to scroll a little ways down, but
I think this is the coolest piece I've found. That it's
blow up, Marty.
Oh yeah, big time. Hold on.
It's a hand drawn, and it's by Walter Piston from 1911, and Walter Piston became a very famous American composer. I think he won like two Pulitzer Prizes for composing, and he was only an artist for like a short period of time when he was younger before he became a like well-known composer. So I don't think there's that many of his like works out there, and his whole library and letters were donated to the Boston Public Library, so they have his library and collection there. I'm trying to figure out with them about it, but so I haven't seen any like out there on the market or like sold in the past, but I just think it's a really cool piece. Yeah,
that's really nice.
But I don't know if I'll sell that.
What about you, Marty?
I was gonna say, first of all, Andrew has some stellar stuff. My goodness, I'm really impressed. almost embarrassed, to be quite frank.
Especially for someone who's like, oh, I don't really do it.
Yeah, but here's this 500-year-old Aztec.
You guys, so.
Oh my god! Well, I wipe the sweat from my brow here. It's not ephemera related. I'm just, I think the question was posed: what's a cool thing you sold, right? Not necessarily ephemera. Cool is a relative term, but to me it was cool. It was a Davy Jones of the Monkees. Remember Davy Jones? I found a Halloween mask, just a face mask at an estate sale, and I bought some other stuff, and they gave it to me for free because the guy that the lady who sold it to me said, "I'm so sorry, we don't have the rest of the costume." Well, anyway, it was from 1967. It was a Halloween costume for Davy Jones of the Monkees, and I sold it for $105 of all things, but it was totally free. And it was really cool. It was like a novelty for me growing up. The Monkees were huge and all, so it was kind of cool. And it was free, which makes it so much better. And it sold for over $100. That's the first thing that came to mind. But then again, Andrew just kind of stole the show. I was like, oh my god, I'm gonna have to have you on as a guest, young man. Let me just tell you.
I'd be happy.
Yeah, I'd be delighted. Yeah, we'll definitely have you on. But anyway, again, just to recap, thank you so much, everybody, for the few that remain here. About half the group remains, half left us, but it was quite the night. 8 people, all part of this wonderful event called, I was gonna say Lollapalooza, Paperpalooza. And Ben has been crucial to this whole process, and he continues to be for us that are involved in it. He's kind of keeping everything organized. So again, thanks so much for that and all that work you've been doing, Ben. We had a few questions earlier in the chat about, where do I see this and what are the times and all. Again, I think everybody pretty much is going to probably wind up posting this graphic that's in back of us all right now that Ben created. It gives you the exact times, who's on when. But also outside of that, if you just go into the Whatnot app and you search that term, Paperpalooza, you'll pull up everybody's show and it'll show you exactly what time it takes place and what day of the 2 days. And I encourage everybody, please go in and bookmark the shows for everybody. I think, what was it, 22, 23 people, Ben? Something like that.
22, I believe.
22. Yeah. So like 2 days of basically 12-hour days, 20 plus resellers, great ephemera stuff. I mean, you've seen a lot of you people put on a clinic tonight about showing off some of this. Nobody better than, I got to admit, Andrew. Wow. I mean, I'm like sweating from this kid. Holy cow. Great job, man. Really, that was impressive. So definitely check out Andrews at a minimum. And of course, everybody else. I mean, we're all going to put, I think it was mentioned earlier, everybody's putting up some real top shelf stuff. This isn't, stuff we're trying to get rid of necessarily. It's all really good stuff. The goal is to bring the focus of our community over to Whatnot and hopefully encourage more people to join it. And it would help all of us individually and the community as a whole. So
Swamp Picker, it starts this Saturday at 11 a.m. Eastern. And it's 2 days, Saturday and Sunday, but starting at 11 a.m.
Correct. And it's virtually 12 hours, like 11 or 12 hours
Yep.
in a row. So, yeah, again, I'll be posting on my Instagram. I'm sure everybody else will do the same. We'll post this graphic and so you can see it. But again, just go on Whatnot. You can search that term. You'll pull up everybody's shows.
And I think me and John are going to be co-hosting a little pregame show each day.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah. So it'll be a half hour. It also has in the Paperpalooza that's bookmarkable as well.
Sweet.
But each day, I think we're just going to do a little lead in, talk about the sellers for that day, what time they're going on, what kind of stuff they have, etc. And
fantastic.
And do that as well too. So yeah, look for that as well.
That's awesome. All right, guys. Anybody else have any parting words? Any other thoughts?
I just want to say, Bastiques, Luke and Bree, good job. I mean, this is only my second time on a YouTube live stream, but
yeah, they did a great job the first time.
Thanks.
Yeah, it's been fun.
Cool. It's been a pleasure having everybody. So thanks again, everyone. Have a great night. We'll see you this weekend. Paperpalooza.
Thanks, everybody.
Good night, everybody. Thanks, guys.
Thanks.
Take care.